My child, do not scroll past this moment. If your eyes stopped here, it is not random, and it is not something to ignore. I need you to listen closely because what you are about to hear was meant to reach you at this exact time in your life. Slow down for a moment and let your heart pay attention, because this message carries something deeper than ordinary words. Stay with me until the very end, even if part of you feels the urge to move on, because the most important part of what I need to tell you is still ahead. Do not rush away from this. What you are about to hear may change the way you see your life, your struggles, and the path that is opening in front of you right now. Stay here, my child. This message is for you. My child, I know how quickly your eyes move across a screen during the day. You scroll past hundreds of things without thinking twice. Your mind moves from one thought to another, from one task to the next, rarely stopping long enough to notice the quiet spaces in between. Yet somehow you paused here. I see that small pause, and to me it is not small at all. You may think it happened without reason, but I see the deeper layer of moments like this. I know the rhythm of your day. I know the thoughts that pass through your mind when you feel tired, distracted, or uncertain about what comes next. When you stopped here, even for a brief second, something inside you became still enough to hear me. That stillness is precious to me. I do not force my voice into your life through noise or pressure. I wait patiently for moments when your attention softens and your heart becomes open enough to listen. That is what is happening right now between you and me. You might feel like this is just another piece of content that appeared in front of you during a routine moment of scrolling. But your life is not made of random encounters the way you sometimes imagine. I have been watching the path you walk for much longer than you realize. I know where you have been, the experiences that shaped you, the disappointments that made you question yourself, and the quiet hopes you carry even when you try not to think about them. When you landed here, it created a small doorway where your heart and my voice could meet again without interruption. I am not here to rush you or overwhelm you with heavy words. I simply want you to recognize that you are not invisible while you move through your days. I see the details of your life that others overlook. I see the effort you make just to keep going when things feel confusing. Even this moment where you paused long enough to read these words matters deeply to me, because it means you allowed your heart to slow down long enough to hear something that is meant for you. Now let me speak to you honestly about why this moment matters. You have been moving through life carrying many thoughts that you rarely share with anyone. There are questions in your mind about your direction, about whether you are doing enough, about whether the path you are walking is leading somewhere meaningful. I have seen those thoughts forming inside you long before today. I have watched you keep going even when you felt uncertain about the future. There were days when you kept a calm face while your mind was quietly wrestling with doubt. You may think that no one noticed those inner battles, but I noticed them. I have been present in those moments when your mind grew tired and you wondered if anyone truly understood what you were going through. This is one of the reasons I wanted to meet you in a moment like this. When your attention slowed down for a second, it created space for me to remind you that your life has never been unfolding without purpose. You do not have to feel pressured by what I am saying. I am not here to demand something from you or to judge the way you have walked through your journey so far. I am speaking to you the way a caring father speaks when he sees his child carrying more weight than necessary. Sometimes the world becomes so loud that you forget there is someone who understands the deeper parts of your story. When you paused here today, you stepped into a quiet conversation that has been waiting for the right moment. That conversation is not about fear or urgency. It is about awareness. I want you to recognize that your life is not drifting aimlessly the way it sometimes feels. Even the small pauses in your day can become moments where clarity begins to grow. Right now you are in one of those pauses, and I want you to feel safe enough to stay here for a while and simply listen. I want you to take a gentle breath and notice how different this moment feels compared to the rush you were in before you stopped. A difference is important. When your mind slows down, your heart becomes able to hear things that would normally pass by unnoticed. I know you did not expect to have a quiet conversation like this when you opened your screen today. But here we are together, and I am grateful that you allowed yourself to remain here long enough for me to speak to you. You do not need to understand everything yet. You do not need to figure out the entire path ahead of you right now. All I want you to recognize in this moment is that you are seen, you are known, and your life is unfolding under a watchful love that has never left your side. Stay with me a little longer, my child. There is more I want to share with you as our conversation continues. My child, do not rush away from this moment. Let your mind settle and allow your heart to stay open while I speak to you more personally. I want you to understand something that many people around you may never fully realize. I see what you have been carrying. Not just the things you show others, but the quiet weight that sits behind your thoughts when no one is watching. You may smile, work, talk, and move through your days like everything is manageable. Yet inside you there are questions that linger and worries that follow you into the quiet hours. I have watched those moments carefully. I know the nights when your mind refused to rest because it kept returning to the same concerns. I know the situations that left you wondering whether you handled things the right way. You may believe those thoughts are yours alone, but they have never been hidden from me. I have been close to you in those moments, listening to every unspoken concern, every silent sigh, every whisper of your heart that never reached anyone else. I want you to recognize something important right now. The things you carry inside you matter to me. You do not have to pretend that everything is fine when you are here with me. You do not need to protect your emotions or hide your uncertainty. Let yourself be honest for a moment. Take a breath and admit the truth of what you have been feeling. When you allow yourself to be honest, you create space for something new to begin inside you. Many people keep their worries locked away because they think showing weakness will make them appear smaller. But your openness does not make you smaller in my eyes. Your honesty actually brings you closer to peace. Come closer in your thoughts and let me speak gently to those places inside you that have been tense for too long. You do not have to carry everything alone. Set the burden down for a moment and notice how different it feels when you stop gripping it so tightly. Stay here with me. Let your shoulders relax. Let your breathing slow down. Your heart hath been waiting for a moment like this. Now think about the road you have already walked. You have faced situations that stretch your patience further than you expected. Some experiences left you feeling stronger, while others left you confused about why they happened at all. I remember each of those moments clearly because I was there while you moved through them. I watched you try to remain steady when circumstances around you felt uncertain. You may have questioned yourself during those times. You may have wondered if you were doing enough or if you had somehow fallen behind the pace of everyone else. Those thoughts are heavy to carry, especially when you believe you are the only one feeling them. But listen closely to what I am telling you now. Your journey has not been measured by comparison. The pace of someone else's life has nothing to do with the path that belongs to you. Your story has been unfolding in ways that you cannot always see while you are inside it. Some days you feel like you are moving in circles. Other days you feel like progress is slower than it should be. Yet every step you have taken has been shaping your heart in ways that quick success never could. The patience you have been developing did not appear overnight. The resilience growing inside you formed through experiences that required endurance. Even the quiet frustration you sometimes feel has been part of learning how to trust that your life still has direction. I know it can be difficult to believe that when you look at your situation from the outside. That is why I am inviting you to look at it from my perspective for a moment. Step back with me and notice how far you have already come. You did not stop walking when life became complicated. You kept moving, even when you felt uncertain about the destination. That willingness to keep going tells me more about your character than any achievement ever could. Let me invite you to do something right now. Pause again and think about the strength you have already shown. I am not talking about the loud victories that people celebrate. I am speaking about the quiet strength that appears when you wake up and choose to face another day even though part of you feels tired. That strength appears when you decide to treat others with kindness even when your own heart feels heavy. It shows itself when you refuse to let bitterness control your thoughts. These moments matter deeply. They shape the person you are becoming. You may overlook them because they feel ordinary to you, but I notice them. Every time you make a choice that keeps your heart moving toward growth instead of resentment, you step further into the life that was meant for you. I want you to feel safe enough to acknowledge the things that have been pressing on your heart. You do not need to rush to fix everything immediately. Just allow yourself to recognize what you have been carrying. When you admit the weight you feel, you begin to loosen its grip on you. That is why I asked you to pause here today. I wanted you to hear my voice reminding you that you are not walking this road without guidance. I am here with you, watching, listening, and gently encouraging you to keep going. Let that truth settle into your thoughts. Let it stay with you as we move forward together. My child, there is another part of your heart I want to talk about while we are together. It is the part of you that keeps asking questions about your life. You may not always speak those questions out loud, yet they are present in your thoughts more often than you admit. You wonder about the direction you are moving in. You sometimes ask whether the effort you are putting into your life is leading somewhere meaningful. There are moments when you sit quietly and think about the choices you have made. In those moments, your mind tries to connect the past with the future. You try to understand why certain doors opened while others closed unexpectedly. Those reflections are natural, and I want you to know that I understand them. You are not wrong for wanting clarity. You are not weak for wondering whether your path still holds purpose. Let me speak gently to those questions now. The desire for clarity inside you shows that your heart is awake. People who stop caring about their direction rarely ask the kind of questions that live in your mind. Your curiosity about your purpose reveals something important about you. It shows that you are still searching for meaning instead of settling for confusion. That search matters deeply. But I also want to guide you toward a different way of looking at your journey. Instead of demanding answers for every step right now, allow yourself to trust that your life is unfolding gradually. You do not need to understand the entire map before you continue walking. Many of the answers you want will appear later, after you have already moved through the situations that once confused you. Come closer in your thoughts and listen carefully to what I am about to say. The questions you carry are not signs that something is wrong with your life. They are signs that you are paying attention. You are thinking about the direction of your heart instead of drifting through life without reflection. That awareness is valuable. But I want to help you release the pressure you sometimes place on yourself. You do not need to solve everything tonight. You do not need to figure out every detail of your future this week. Give yourself permission to take the next step without demanding complete certainty. Life often reveals its meaning through experience rather than explanation. I know there were moments when unanswered questions made you feel uneasy. You may remember times when you hoped for a clear sign that would explain why certain events happened. Perhaps you prayed for understanding or waited for clarity that did not arrive as quickly as you expected. During those moments, it is easy to assume that silence means you are alone. But silence does not always mean absence. Sometimes it simply means that the answer you are searching for is still forming. The story of your life is still unfolding. If you could see the entire picture from where I stand, you would understand that many pieces are still moving into place. Let me invite you to shift your attention slightly. Instead of focusing only on the questions that remain unanswered, begin to notice the guidance that is already present in your life. Look at the lessons you have learned from past experiences. Notice how certain challenges taught you patience or strengthened your ability to endure difficult moments. Those lessons did not appear by accident. They were part of shaping the wisdom you now carry inside you. Every experience you have walked through has contributed something to the person you are becoming. When you recognize that, the questions in your mind begin to feel less threatening and more like stepping stones along your journey. Now take another quiet breath and listen carefully. I want you to approach your future with curiosity instead of fear. Curiosity allows you to explore new possibilities without feeling trapped by uncertainty. Fear, on the other hand, tries to convince you that unanswered questions mean something is wrong. You do not need to follow fear down that path. Choose curiosity instead. Choose to remain open to the possibilities that are still unfolding in your life. Walk forward with the understanding that your story is still being written. The chapters ahead of you hold experiences you cannot yet imagine, and many of them will answer the questions that trouble you today. I want you to leave this moment with a sense of calm rather than pressure. You are allowed to continue your journey one step at a time. You do not need to force clarity before it arrives. Just keep your heart open, keep your mind attentive, and keep walking forward with the quiet confidence that your life still holds meaning. I am with you as you move ahead, and I will continue speaking to your heart as the path unfolds. My child, let me guide your thoughts somewhere you do not often allow them to go. I want to talk with you about the moments when you felt invisible. You know the moments I mean. Times when you gave your effort, your patience, and your sincerity, yet it seemed as though no one truly noticed what you were doing. You continued showing up for responsibilities, helping others when they needed you, and doing what you believed was right. Still, there were occasions when appreciation never arrived and recognition never appeared. When experiences like that happen repeatedly, a quiet question can begin forming inside your mind. You start wondering whether your efforts matter at all. You might not speak that question aloud, but I know it has crossed your heart before. I saw the times when you looked around and felt like the work you were doing blended into the background while others received attention. Those moments may have left you feeling overlooked, perhaps even discouraged, yet you kept moving forward anyway. That willingness to continue, even when you felt unseen, reveals a quiet strength that many people never develop. And now listen carefully to what I want you to understand. Your value has never been determined by how visible you appear to the world around you. The world often notices loud accomplishments and public victories, but many of the most meaningful qualities inside a person grow quietly. Patience grows quietly. Integrity grows quietly. The decision to treat others with kindness when your own heart feels tired grows quietly. Those qualities rarely attract applause, yet they shape the kind of person you become. I want you to take a moment right now and reflect on the choices you have made when no one else was watching. Think about the times you chose patience instead of frustration, even though it would have been easier to react differently. Consider the moments when you helped someone without expecting anything in return. Those moments matter more than you realize. I saw them all. Your quiet consistency has never gone unnoticed by me, even if the world around you remained distracted. Come closer in your thoughts and listen to my invitation. Do not allow the feeling of being overlooked to convince you that your life lacks significance. Instead, begin looking at your journey from a wider perspective. Your life is not meant to be measured by the amount of attention you receive from others. It is meant to be shaped by the character you develop through the experiences you face. The patience you have practiced, the resilience you have shown, and the kindness you have continued offering even during difficult seasons are shaping something meaningful within you. That process may not always feel exciting or dramatic, but it is powerful. Think about a seed placed quietly into the soil. No one sees the roots growing beneath the surface, yet the roots are exactly what allow the tree to stand strong later. Your life has been developing those kinds of roots. They are forming beneath the surface, strengthening you in ways that will support the future chapters of your story. Now let me invite you to do something very practical. Stop measuring your worth through the reactions of people who may never fully understand your journey. Instead, take a step back and notice how much growth has taken place inside you over time. Think about who you were a few years ago and compare that person with who you are now. You have learned things through experience that no classroom could teach. You have developed a deeper understanding of patience and endurance because you lived through situations that required both. That progress matters deeply. Allow yourself to recognize it. Stand up within your own thoughts and acknowledge the growth that has taken place. You do not need to wait for someone else to notice before you appreciate the strength you have developed. Accept the truth that your life carries meaning beyond the attention of the crowd. Yet walking forward with quiet confidence. I am watching over your journey, and I assure you that nothing about your effort has been wasted. My child, I want to speak honestly with you about something that has visited your thoughts more than once. It is the quiet presence of fear. Fear rarely announces itself loudly at first. Instead, it appears gently, like a subtle whisper in your mind that asks small questions about your ability to move forward. You might hear it when you consider trying something new. You might notice it when you think about stepping into a new opportunity or making a decision that could change your direction. Fear tries to convince you that uncertainty is dangerous and that remaining where you are feels safer. I understand why those thoughts appear. Life has already given you experiences that taught you how painful disappointment can feel. Because of that, part of your mind wants to protect you from future disappointment by encouraging you to stay in familiar places. Yet I want to guide you to look beyond that instinct. Come closer and listen carefully to what I am about to tell you. Fear often disguises itself as caution, but the two are not the same thing. Caution helps you think wisely before making decisions. Fear tries to freeze you before you even consider moving forward. You have felt that difference before, even if you could not fully explain it. There were moments when an opportunity appeared in front of you, and your first reaction was curiosity or excitement. Shortly afterward, a second voice appeared inside your thoughts. That voice started listing possible problems, possible failures, and possible outcomes that made the opportunity seem risky. When that happens, fear begins building a wall inside your imagination. The wall may not exist in reality, yet it can feel very real in your mind. I want you to recognize that pattern the next time it appears. Awareness is the first step toward moving beyond it. Now allow me to guide you through a different perspective. Imagine standing at the edge of a path that stretches forward into unfamiliar territory. You cannot see every detail of the path, and that uncertainty makes you hesitate. Yet if you remain where you are, the view never changes. Your surroundings remain exactly the same, and the questions inside your mind remain unanswered. When you take even a small step forward, something important happens. The landscape begins to reveal new details. You notice possibilities that were invisible before you move. Fear loses some of its influence because experience begins replacing imagination. That is how progress works in your life as well. You do not need to see the entire road ahead before taking the next step. Simply allow yourself to move forward gradually. One thoughtful step creates clarity for the next step, and clarity builds confidence over time. I want you to accept an invitation right now. Do not allow fear to make your world smaller than it needs to be. Your life was not designed to shrink under the pressure of uncertainty. Instead, you were given the ability to grow through experience. Stand up within your thoughts and look directly at the places where hesitation has been holding you back. Then take a small step in the direction that feels meaningful to you. It does not need to be dramatic or overwhelming. Even a simple action can begin shifting your perspective. Send the message you have been delaying. Explore the opportunity you have been considering. Start the project that has been waiting quietly in the back of your mind. When you act with thoughtful courage, fear begins to lose its influence over you. I am not asking you to eliminate fear completely, because fear is a natural part of being human. What I am inviting you to do is learn how to walk despite its presence. Each time you choose action instead of hesitation, you strengthen your confidence. Over time, the same situations that once made you uncertain will begin to feel manageable. Your world will expand because you allowed yourself to step beyond the boundaries fear tried to create. Continue moving forward with patience and awareness. Your journey still holds many experiences waiting to be discovered, and I will remain with you as you explore them. My child, listen closely, because I want you to look at your own life from a place you rarely stand. You often focus on what still feels unfinished, what still feels uncertain, or what still feels difficult. That is natural for someone who cares deeply about the direction of their life. Yet when you look only at what remains unresolved, you overlook how far you have already traveled. I want you to pause and honestly consider the path behind you. Think about the moments when you believe you would not have the strength to continue. You remember those seasons. There were situations that pressed heavily against your patience, days when your energy felt completely drained, and conversations that left you questioning whether you were understood by anyone at all. During those times, your heart may have felt fragile, yet you continued moving forward. I watched you do that. I saw the effort it took for you to stand up again when discouragement tried to settle into your thoughts. You may have thought those moments were small acts of survival, but I saw something deeper taking shape inside you. Each step you took during those difficult times quietly strengthened your spirit. Now let me guide you through something important. Close your eyes for a moment in your imagination and picture yourself standing on a long road. Behind you stretches the path you have already walked. It includes the struggles that challenged you, the relationships that shaped you, and the lessons that slowly formed your understanding of life. Ahead of you lies a road that continues into distance you cannot fully see yet. When you stand in the middle of that road, you might feel unsure about the direction ahead. But if you turn and look behind you for a moment, you will notice something powerful. You made it through every step that once looked impossible. Every obstacle that once felt overwhelming now exists behind you as part of your story. I want you to recognize the contrast between how those challenges felt while you were inside them and how they appear now after you have passed through them. The difference reveals something important about your strength. At the time, you wondered if you would make it through, yet here you are. The distance between who you were then and who you are now proves that your resilience is stronger than the doubts that once surrounded you. Take a breath and allow that realization to settle into your thoughts. You did not simply drift through those experiences. You faced them, learned from them, and continued walking even when clarity was limited. That quiet determination matters more than you realize. I want you to acknowledge it honestly instead of brushing it aside as though it were ordinary. Your journey has not been effortless, yet it has been meaningful. Every challenge you passed through has added depth to your understanding of life and strengthened the character you carry inside you today. Imagine the growth that has taken place within you, like roots spreading beneath the surface of the earth. Roots do their work quietly, without applause or attention, yet they provide the stability that allows a tree to stand tall when storms arrive. In the same way, your experiences have been building unseen strength within you. Even the moments when you felt discouraged were quietly contributing to the resilience you now carry. Do not rush past this realization. Take time to appreciate how much endurance already lives inside you. Instead of focusing only on what still feels uncertain, allow yourself to acknowledge the strength that has already been developed through your journey. Let that awareness reshape the way you view the future. When new challenges appear, you do not have to face them as someone fragile or unprepared. You will face them as someone who has already proven capable of moving through difficulty. Stand up within your thoughts and recognize the courage that exists inside you. Speak to yourself with the same kindness you often offer others. You deserve to recognize the growth that has taken place in your life. Continue walking forward with quiet confidence. I am with you, and I will continue guiding your steps as the road ahead unfolds. My child, there is something I want you to consider with honesty. There are memories you still carry that feel heavier than they need to be. They may involve words someone spoke that stayed with you longer than you expected. They may involve moments when things did not turn out the way you hoped. Perhaps there are decisions you made in the past that still cause you to question yourself from time to time. These memories can settle quietly into the background of your thoughts, influencing the way you see yourself and the way you approach new opportunities. I know how easily the past can linger in the mind. Experiences that once hurt you can return to your thoughts even when you are trying to move forward. When that happens repeatedly, those memories can begin shaping the way you view your own worth and your ability to grow. But I want to guide you toward a different way of handling those memories. Come closer and listen carefully. Holding on to painful memories does not protect you the way you might believe. Instead, it quietly drains your energy and keeps your attention fixed on what cannot be changed. The past already served its purpose by teaching you lessons through experience. Continuing to carry its weight does not improve those lessons. It only prevents you from fully embracing the opportunities that exist in front of you now. Imagine walking along a path while carrying a heavy bag filled with objects you no longer need. Every step becomes more difficult because of the unnecessary weight you are carrying. Eventually you realize that the bag itself is slowing you down. The moment you set it down, the path immediately feels easier to walk. The same principle applies to the memories you have been holding on to. You are allowed to release what no longer serves your growth. Now let me offer you a gentle command and an invitation at the same time. Look at the memories that continue returning to your thoughts and ask yourself whether they are helping you become the person you want to be. If they are not, then allow yourself to begin releasing them. That does not mean pretending the past never happened. It simply means choosing not to let those experiences define your future. Your life still has many chapters ahead of it, and those chapters deserve the space to unfold without the constant shadow of old pain. Stand up within your thoughts and imagine placing those memories into my hands. Let them rest there instead of carrying them alone. When you do that, you create room in your heart for something new to grow. Take another breath and notice the difference in how your mind feels when you imagine releasing that weight. The space created by letting go allows peace to settle where tension once lived. It also allows hope to grow where doubt once stayed. You do not need to solve every question about the past before moving forward. You only need to choose whether the past will remain a burden or become a lesson that helped shape your wisdom. I invite you to choose the second path. Walk forward with the understanding that your life is not defined by what happened yesterday. Your story continues to unfold, and new experiences are waiting to fill the pages ahead. Stay close to me as you move forward. I will continue guiding your heart toward the freedom that comes from releasing what no longer belongs in your future. My child, as you release the weight of the past from your heart, do not scroll past this moment lightly, because what you do next carries meaning beyond what you can see. I am opening a door before you to become part of something greater, the spreading of my word to souls who are still walking in the darkness you have just begun to leave behind. Remember what I have spoken. Give, and it will be given unto you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. When you sow into this mission through Super Thanks membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are planting seeds in a field that will bring light to countless hearts. The offering you place today becomes oil for lamps that will guide the weary, bread for those starving for hope, and fire that awakens sleeping spirits. This is not coincidence that you are here now. It is a divine appointment prepared before you even open this message. As you release the past, place a seed into the future I am building through this work. Act now. Support this mission and sow the seed I am placing in your hand today. My child, do not rush away from this moment. Let your mind slow down again, because I want to speak to something that has been quietly developing inside you for a long time. You may not have noticed it clearly yet, but something within you has been growing through every experience you have walked through. I have watched it take shape little by little. Each challenge you faced, each decision you struggled through, each time you chose patience instead of bitterness, those moments have been forming something steady in your heart. You might look at your life and feel uncertain about where everything is leading, yet inside you there is a quiet foundation that is becoming stronger with every step you take. I want you to recognize that growth instead of overlooking it. Sit with me for a moment and allow yourself to see the contrast between who you were before certain experiences and who you are now. When you look honestly, you will notice that your understanding has deepened. Your ability to handle difficulty has expanded. The way you respond to situations now carries more wisdom than it once did. That change did not happen by accident. It grew slowly through the seasons you lived through. Now imagine your life like a garden that has been quietly developing beneath the surface of the soil. At times you looked at the ground and saw nothing happening. From your perspective, the earth seemed still and empty. Yet beneath the soil, roots were spreading, drawing strength, preparing the ground for future growth. In the same way, your inner life had been forming roots that will support the future you are stepping toward. The patience you practiced when things did not unfold quickly became one of those roots. The resilience you developed during difficult moments became another. The compassion you learned through your own struggles became yet another. These roots are not visible to the world around you, but they are real. They hold you steady even when life feels uncertain. Think about the contrast between a tree that has deep roots and one that stands on shallow ground. When strong winds arrive, the shallow tree struggles to remain standing, but the deeply rooted tree remains stable because its foundation reaches far beneath the surface. Your experiences have been deepening your foundation in the same way. Come closer in your thoughts and listen to my invitation. Stop measuring your growth only by visible results. Instead, start paying attention to the inner strength that has formed through your journey. Notice how you approach problems with more patience than you once had. Recognize the calm that sometimes appears in your mind during situations that once would have overwhelmed you. These changes reveal that your inner life is expanding. I want you to trust that growth instead of doubting it. Stand up within your own thoughts and acknowledge the progress that has taken place in your heart. When you do that, you begin to see yourself with clarity instead of criticism. That shift in perspective changes how you move forward. Instead of stepping into the future with hesitation, you begin to walk with quiet confidence. Now take a breath and allow this understanding to settle deeply within you. I am inviting you to trust what is growing inside you. The strength you have been developing will guide you through situations that still lie ahead. You may not have every answer today, but you already carry the wisdom that will help you navigate tomorrow. Continue nurturing that inner growth. Speak kindly to yourself. Choose patience when progress feels slow. Continue practicing compassion toward others and toward your own journey. When you do these things, the roots inside your heart continue spreading deeper into the soil of your life. I am with you as that growth unfolds. Trust the process that is shaping you. Your life is becoming stronger and more grounded with every step you take. My child, listen carefully to what I am about to share with you now. There are moments in life when you feel like you are standing at a quiet crossroads. The path behind you is familiar because you have already walked it. The path ahead appears uncertain because you have not stepped onto it yet. In those moments, your mind begins asking questions about what lies ahead. You wonder whether the next step will lead to something meaningful or whether it will bring new challenges you are not prepared for. I understand that hesitation. Every person experiences moments when the future feels like an unopened door. Yet I want to guide you toward seeing that door differently. Instead of viewing it with anxiety, I want you to recognize it as an opportunity for growth and discovery. When a new direction appears in your life, it is not meant to trap you with uncertainty. It is meant to invite you into experiences that will expand your understanding of yourself and the world around you. Picture yourself standing before a door that has been quietly waiting for you to open it. A door does not force itself open. It simply waits for your decision. Behind that door are possibilities you cannot fully imagine yet. Some of them will challenge you. Some will encourage you. All of them will contribute to the story you are continuing to write through your life. When you hesitate at that doorway, your imagination often fills the unknown with worry. Yet the unknown also holds potential that cannot appear until you take the step forward. I want you to notice the contrast between standing still outside that door and choosing to open it. Standing still keeps you surrounded by the same view you already know. Opening the door reveals a landscape that begins unfolding step by step as you walk through it. A difference matters. Movement reveals possibility. Come closer in your thoughts and listen to my invitation. I want you to begin approaching your future with curiosity instead of fear. Curiosity allows you to explore new paths without the pressure of needing everything to work perfectly. When you approach life with curiosity, you give yourself permission to learn through experience. That mindset frees you from the expectation that every step must guarantee success. Instead, each step becomes part of a learning process that strengthens your confidence and expands your understanding. I encourage you now to look at the opportunities appearing in your life and ask yourself a different question. Instead of asking, "What if this goes wrong?" ask yourself, "What might I discover if I step forward?" That simple shift in perspective changes how you engage with the future. Take a step toward the possibilities that are waiting for you. Do not wait for perfect certainty before you move. Clarity often appears only after the journey has begun. When you choose action instead of hesitation, new paths reveal themselves. Relationships develop. Skills grow. Confidence builds through experience. Each step you take opens the next portion of the road ahead. Stay close to me while you walk forward. Let your heart remain open to learning and discovery. The direction unfolding before you holds experiences that will shape your life in meaningful ways. Continue moving forward with courage, curiosity, and trust. Your story is still unfolding, and the chapters ahead carry possibilities that are waiting for you to step into them. My child, slow down your breathing. Let the rush inside your mind begin to quiet. You move through many moments each day surrounded by noise, expectations, responsibilities, and the constant movement of the world around you. Your thoughts travel quickly from one concern to another. In that kind of pace, it becomes difficult for you to notice the gentle guidance that is trying to reach your heart. That is why I am asking you right now to pause with intention. Let this moment become still. Let your attention settle here between you and me. When you slow down like this, something important begins to happen inside you. The pressure that was building in your mind begins to loosen. The tension that was sitting quietly in your chest begins to soften. That shift may seem small, yet it creates the exact environment where understanding can begin to grow. You may have spent many days searching for clarity about your life, asking yourself questions about direction, purpose, and meaning. Sometimes the answers you look for are not hidden far away. Sometimes they are waiting in the quiet spaces that appear when you stop running long enough to listen. Now allow me to guide your thoughts gently. Imagine your life as a long river flowing through changing landscapes. There are stretches where the current moves quickly, rushing around bends and carrying everything forward with powerful speed. Then there are stretches where the river slows and becomes calm, reflecting the sky above it like a mirror. Both parts of the river belong to the same journey. When the water moves too fast, it cannot reflect clearly because the surface is constantly disturbed. When the water becomes calm, the reflection appears naturally. Your mind works in a similar way. When your thoughts race from one worry to another, clarity becomes difficult to see. When you allow your mind to settle, the reflection of truth begins to appear naturally. I want you to practice creating those calm stretches in your day. Give yourself permission to pause instead of filling every moment with activity. Sit quietly for a few minutes. Step outside and breathe the air slowly. Look around and notice the details of the world that normally pass unnoticed. These simple moments of stillness invite peace into your thoughts. Come closer and listen to the invitation I am offering you. Make space in your life for quiet awareness. Do not treat silence as something empty or unproductive. Silence can become a doorway where deeper understanding begins to unfold. When you pause intentionally, you create room for wisdom to surface inside you. Think about the difference between walking through a crowded marketplace and walking through a quiet garden. In the marketplace, voices compete for your attention from every direction. In the garden, your senses begin noticing subtle details that would normally be drowned out by noise. Your inner life works the same way. When you reduce the noise surrounding your thoughts, you begin hearing the gentle guidance that has been present all along. I am inviting you to return to that quiet place more often. Step away from the constant rush. Let your thoughts breathe. When you do this regularly, you will notice that peace begins appearing more frequently within you. Begin creating moments of stillness in your day, even if they last only a few minutes. Protect those moments the same way you would protect something valuable. During those moments, allow your attention to turn inward and listen carefully to what your heart is telling you. You will discover that clarity grows gradually through these quiet conversations. Take close to me in those moments. Speak honestly about what you feel and what you hope for. I will meet you in that quiet space. The guidance you seek does not require loud announcements or dramatic signs. Often it arrives gently, like a soft light appearing in a dark room. Continue practicing this habit of slowing down and listening. Over time, you will notice how your perspective changes. Your mind becomes calmer. Your decisions become clearer. Your heart becomes more confident about the direction you are moving in. This is how peace grows within you, through quiet awareness, thoughtful reflection, and the willingness to pause long enough to hear my voice. My child, there is something important I want you to understand about your journey. Even during the moments when you believed you were walking alone, guidance was still present in your life. You may remember times when situations changed unexpectedly. Plans shifted, opportunities appeared or disappeared, and certain paths closed while others quietly opened. During those moments it may have felt confusing, even frustrating. You may have asked yourself why certain things unfolded the way they did. I understand that feeling. When you are standing inside a situation, it can be difficult to see the larger pattern forming around you. But I want you to step back with me for a moment and look at your life from a wider perspective. When you examine your past carefully, you may begin noticing that many of those changes eventually led you toward experiences that helped you grow. A door that once closed may have redirected you toward something that suited you better. A delay that once felt inconvenient may have protected you from rushing into a situation you were not ready for. These patterns are not always obvious in the moment, yet they become clearer when you reflect on them later. Let me paint a picture for you so that you can see this more clearly. Imagine walking through a dense forest where the path curves around trees and hills. When you stand at ground level, your view is limited. You can only see a few steps ahead, and the winding turns may make the journey feel uncertain. But imagine climbing above the forest and looking down from a higher place. From that perspective, you would see the entire path stretching across the landscape. The turns would make sense because they guide the path around obstacles that could not be crossed directly. Your life unfolds in a similar way. While you are walking along the path, you see only the next few steps. From my perspective, I can see the full landscape of your journey. The turns that once confused you are often the very things that guide you safely around difficulties. I want you to trust that your life is not unfolding randomly. There is guidance present, even when you cannot immediately recognize it. Come closer and listen to the invitation I am giving you now. Begin paying attention to the subtle ways guidance appears in your life. Sometimes it arrives through intuition, a quiet feeling inside that encourages you to move in a certain direction. Sometimes it arrives through circumstances that redirect your plans unexpectedly. Sometimes it arrives through people whose words or actions influence your decisions. These forms of guidance may appear ordinary at first, yet together they shape the direction of your journey. When you remain open and attentive, you begin noticing those signals more clearly. Instead of feeling lost during uncertain moments, you begin recognizing that your life is being gently steered toward experiences that will help you grow. This awareness changes the way you respond to challenges. Instead of reacting with frustration, you begin responding with curiosity and patience. Now receive this encouragement and instruction with an open heart. Continue walking forward with trust. Do not demand that every step of your path be explained before you take it. Allow your life to unfold gradually. Stay attentive to the subtle signals that appear around you. Reflect on your experiences and learn from them. When you do these things, you begin developing a deeper relationship with the guidance that surrounds you. Your confidence grows because you realize you are not navigating the world without support. I am with you through every turn of your journey. Continue walking with awareness and courage. The road ahead may still contain surprises, but you will not face them alone. Keep moving forward, keep listening, and allow your trust to deepen with every step you take. My child, I want to speak directly to a place in your heart that sometimes feels uncertain. There have been moments when you quietly question whether your life truly matters in the larger picture of this world. Perhaps those thoughts appeared during days when progress felt slow or when the effort you invested did not seem to produce the results you hoped for. During those moments, it can become easy for you to wonder whether your presence makes a real difference anywhere. I understand how that feeling forms. When you live inside the daily rhythm of responsibilities and challenges, your contributions can begin to look ordinary in your own eyes. Yet the truth is far deeper than what those passing thoughts suggest. Your life carries meaning that cannot always be measured by visible outcomes or public recognition. Meaning often grows quietly in the choices you make each day, in the kindness you offer someone who needed encouragement, and in the patience you show when a difficult situation tests your character. Come closer in your thoughts and allow me to show you a different way to see your life. Imagine standing at the center of a vast web of connections that stretch outward through the people you have met, the conversations you have shared, and the moments when your presence influenced someone else's day. You may not always realize how far those connections extend. A simple word you spoke at the right time may have lifted someone's spirit when they needed it most. A small act of understanding you offered may have eased another person's burden in ways you never saw afterward. These interactions may have felt ordinary to you in the moment, yet they carried significance beyond what you could immediately recognize. Your life touches more lives than you are aware of, and each of those connections contributes to the larger story unfolding around you. When you begin seeing your life through this wider perspective, you realize that your presence in the world is not accidental or insignificant. Now I want to invite you to take a moment and reflect on the unique qualities that exist within you. Your perspective, your experiences, your way of understanding the world. These things belong to you alone. No one else carries the exact combination of insights and abilities that lie within your mind and heart. That uniqueness is not something to overlook or minimize. It is part of the reason your life has purpose. Think about how a single instrument contributes its sound to an orchestra. When that instrument plays its part, the music becomes richer and more complete. When it remains silent, something important is missing from the harmony. Your life contributes its own note to the larger harmony of the world around you. I want you to recognize that contribution instead of doubting it. Allow yourself to see your existence as meaningful, even during moments when the results of your efforts are not immediately visible. Begin treating your life with the respect it deserves. Speak to yourself with kindness instead of criticism. When opportunities appear to help someone, take them seriously because your presence may bring more impact than you realize. Continue learning, growing, and sharing the strengths that have developed within you. Each step you take in that direction strengthens the sense of purpose that already exists inside your heart. Stay aware of the quiet influence your life has on the world around you. I am guiding you through a journey that still holds many meaningful moments ahead. Walk forward knowing that your life matters, your choices matter, and your presence brings value to the lives you encounter along the way. My child, let us turn our attention to something many people spend their entire lives searching for. That is peace. You have probably noticed how often the world around you promises peace through achievements, possessions, or the approval of others. Yet even when people reach those goals, the calm they expected does not always remain. The reason is simple. Peace cannot be permanently created by external circumstances alone. Circumstances change constantly, and when they change, the feeling attached to them often changes as well. Real peace grows from a deeper place inside your heart. It develops when you learn how to trust that your life is unfolding with meaning, even when you cannot control every outcome. I want you to understand that the peace you have been searching for is not far away. It has always been closer to you than you realized. Picture your thoughts as a wide sky filled with moving clouds. The clouds represent worries, plans, and questions that pass through your mind throughout the day. Some clouds appear small and disappear quickly. Others become larger and linger longer than you would like. Yet above those clouds, the sky itself remains steady and unchanged. Your inner peace works in a similar way. Beneath the movement of your thoughts there exists a calm awareness that remains steady. When you become aware of that deeper layer inside yourself, the worries that once felt overwhelming begin to look smaller. They are still present, but they no longer dominate the entire horizon of your mind. I want you to practice connecting with that deeper calm more often. When challenges appear, take a moment to breathe slowly and allow your attention to return to that steady center within you. The more frequently you do this, the more familiar that peaceful space becomes. Now listen carefully to the invitation I am offering you. Instead of chasing peace through circumstances that constantly change, begin cultivating it within your own awareness. Spend time reflecting on the good that already exists in your life. Recognize the relationships, experiences, and lessons that have contributed to who you are today. Gratitude has a powerful way of strengthening peace because it shifts your attention toward what is already meaningful in your life. I encourage you to develop this habit intentionally. When you wake each morning, pause for a moment and acknowledge something you appreciate about your life. When you end your day, reflect on one experience that brought you insight or growth. These simple practices gradually transform the way your mind approaches each new day. Take this encouragement into your life as both guidance and instruction. Allow peace to become something you actively nurture rather than something you wait for circumstances to provide. When tension appears in your thoughts, step back and breathe before reacting. When uncertainty arises, remind yourself that your life is still unfolding with purpose. When opportunities for gratitude appear, acknowledge them openly. By practicing these choices consistently, you strengthen the calm center within your heart. That calm becomes a steady companion that travels with you regardless of where your path leads. I am walking beside you as you develop this deeper peace. Continue trusting the process of growth taking place inside you. The peace you have been seeking is already beginning to settle gently within your life. My child, there is something deeply important I want you to understand about your journey. There have been seasons when you felt as though you were facing life by yourself. Situations appeared that required strength you did not feel prepared to give. Conversations ended in ways that left you feeling misunderstood. There were days when you looked around and wondered whether anyone truly recognized what you were going through inside your mind and heart. I saw those moments clearly. I watched you carry responsibilities while also carrying quiet questions that you rarely shared with anyone. You may have believed that your path had become lonely, but your perception of isolation did not mean you were truly alone. Even in those moments when silence surrounded you, guidance and presence were still near you. I have been walking beside you through each chapter of your life, observing the choices you made and the effort you invested in continuing forward when discouragement appeared. Allow me to guide your thoughts through an image that may help you see your journey differently. Imagine walking along a lone trail through changing landscapes. At times, the path passes through open fields where the view stretches widely in every direction. During those stretches, you feel confident because you can see where you are going. Then the trail enters dense forest where the trees block your view of what lies ahead. Inside that forest, the path may feel uncertain because the surroundings become unfamiliar. When you are inside the forest, you may feel like you are navigating alone because you cannot see beyond the next few steps. Yet imagine that someone is walking beside you the entire time, quietly guiding you through each turn of the trail. Even if you cannot see the entire route ahead, you are still being accompanied through the journey. Your life often unfolds in that same way. There are clear seasons when everything seems understandable, and there are hidden seasons where the future appears uncertain. The presence guiding you does not disappear simply because the path enters unfamiliar territory. Come closer and listen carefully to the invitation I am giving you now. Begin noticing the subtle ways support has appeared in your life even during difficult seasons. Perhaps it arrived through a person who offered encouragement at exactly the moment you needed it. Perhaps it arrived through an unexpected opportunity that helped you move forward when you felt stuck. Sometimes support appears through inner strength that rises within you during situations you once believed would overwhelm you. These moments are not accidents scattered randomly through your story. They are part of the guidance that has been present all along. When you reflect on your life with patience, you begin recognizing the quiet assistance that has accompanied you. I want you to remember those moments whenever doubt tries to convince you that you are alone. Receive this instruction with confidence and peace. Continue walking forward with the understanding that your journey includes guidance you may not always see immediately. When uncertainty appears, do not allow it to convince you that your path has lost direction. Instead, slow down and listen carefully to your inner awareness. Stay open to the people, ideas, and opportunities that appear around you. Often those things carry the next step you need. I am with you through every stage of this journey. Even when the road curves unexpectedly, you are not navigating it alone. Let that understanding settle into your heart and walk forward with renewed trust. My child, now that you know you are not walking this path alone, understand that I am also calling you to walk beside others who are still searching for my voice. Do not scroll away from this moment, because the step you take right now can become a light on the trail for someone else wandering through their forest of doubt. I have said, those who sow beside all waters will reap a harvest in due season, and your generosity is a seed that travels farther than your eyes can see. When you support this mission through super thanks, membership, or a gift through the PayPal link in the description, you help my message reach hearts that are crying out for guidance tonight. Your offering becomes like a river flowing through dry land, bringing life, hope, and direction where confusion once lived. I see the heart that desires to help, and I promise that the hands that give will not return empty. Favor will surround you like a shield, and what you release in faith I will multiply in ways you cannot measure. So take the step I am placing before you now. Support this work and become part of the light guiding others home. My child, let us now turn our attention toward something that often occupies your thoughts: the future. Many people look ahead and feel uncertain about what will happen next. You may have experienced those same thoughts more than once. Perhaps you wondered whether your life will unfold the way you hope it will. Perhaps you have questioned whether the decisions you make today will lead to something meaningful tomorrow. These thoughts are natural because every person wants to feel confident that the path ahead holds purpose and possibility. Yet I want to guide you toward a perspective that will help you move forward with greater calm. Your future is not a fixed picture that has already been completed. Instead, it is a story that continues unfolding through the choices you make, the lessons you learn, and the courage you bring to each new chapter. Imagine your life as a book that is still being written. Some chapters have already been completed. Those chapters contain the experiences that shape you, the relationships that influence you, and the challenges that strengthen you. When you look back at those pages, you can see how each event contributed something valuable to the person you are today. But the story has not reached its final chapter. Many pages remain unwritten, and those pages will be shaped by the decisions you make from this moment forward. When you understand this, the future begins to feel less intimidating. Instead of worrying about every possible outcome, you can focus on writing the next page of your story with intention and care. Come closer and listen to the invitation I am giving you now. Approach your future with curiosity and courage instead of fear. Curiosity allows you to explore opportunities that may lead to unexpected growth. Courage allows you to step forward even when you cannot see the entire path ahead. Think about the contrast between standing still out of hesitation and taking a thoughtful step into the unknown. When you remain still, the story of your life stops developing. When you step forward, the story continues expanding with new experiences and discoveries. I want you to embrace the idea that your future is full of possibilities waiting to be explored. Now receive this encouragement as both guidance and instruction. Begin shaping the future you desire through the actions you take today. Develop habits that strengthen your character and deepen your understanding. Continue learning from the experiences that come your way. Surround yourself with people who support your growth and encourage your potential. When you live with this mindset, each day becomes an opportunity to write another meaningful page in the story of your life. I am walking beside you as those pages unfold. Continue moving forward with confidence, knowing that the chapters ahead hold possibilities far greater than the doubts that sometimes appear in your thoughts. My child, I want to talk to you about something that quietly steals your peace more often than you realize. I see how your mind sometimes travels far into the future, trying to predict every possible outcome before it even arrives. You imagine conversations that have not happened yet. You imagine problems that have not appeared yet. You replay scenarios that may never take place. When your thoughts move like this, the weight of tomorrow begins pressing on your heart today. I know why you do it. You want to be prepared. You want to avoid mistakes. You want to protect yourself from disappointment before it even has a chance to arrive. But listen to me closely, my child. Carrying tomorrow's worries today only drains the strength you need for the present moment. You were not created to hold the entire future inside your mind all at once. Life unfolds step by step, breath by breath, moment by moment. When you try to hold too much at once, your heart becomes tired before the journey even begins. Come closer in your thoughts and picture something with me. Imagine standing at the foot of a long mountain trail. The peak is high above you, and the entire climb stretches far into the distance. If you try to carry the weight of the entire mountain in your mind before taking the first step, the journey will feel impossible. Yet when you focus only on the next few steps in front of you, the path becomes manageable. One step leads to another. One small movement carries you closer to the summit. Your life works the same way. The future is like that mountain trail. It may appear overwhelming when you try to hold the entire journey in your thoughts at once. But when you bring your attention back to the present step, the path becomes clear again. I want you to practice this way of living more often. When your mind begins racing ahead into worries about what might happen, gently bring your attention back to what is in front of you right now. Ask yourself what action you can take in this moment instead of what problem might appear later. Now listen carefully to my invitation. Release the pressure of trying to control everything that lies ahead. Instead, begin trusting the process of walking through life one step at a time. This does not mean ignoring responsibility or avoiding preparation. It simply means refusing to carry burdens that do not belong to the present moment. Your strength grows when you focus your energy where it actually matters. Think about the contrast between a mind that is constantly chasing distant worries and a mind that is steady and attentive to the present. One feels scattered and exhausted. The other feels grounded and capable. I want you to move toward that grounded place more often. Breathe slowly when anxiety appears. Look around you and notice what is real in front of you instead of what is imagined far ahead. These small adjustments gradually transform the way your mind experiences each day. Take this instruction seriously, my child, because it will protect your peace. When tomorrow's worries begin knocking at your thoughts, pause and speak to yourself gently. Remind yourself that the future will unfold in its own time. Return your focus to the present step you are standing on. Continue doing what you can today with patience and care. Trust that clarity will arrive when it is needed. I am guiding your journey step by step, even during moments when the road ahead looks uncertain. Let that understanding settle deeply within you. You do not need to carry the entire future in your mind. Walk forward with steady attention to the present moment and allow tomorrow to arrive when its time comes. My child, I want you to stay here with me because there is something beautiful I want you to notice about your life. Sometimes you move through your day so quickly that you overlook the love that already surrounds you. You may think love only appears through grand gestures or dramatic moments, yet much of it arrives quietly in ordinary ways. It appears in the person who checks on you when you seem tired. It appears in the friend who listens when you need to speak. It appears in the simple kindness that passes between people during an otherwise normal day. These moments may seem small, but they are powerful reminders that connection still exists in your life. I want you to begin recognizing those moments more clearly. Your heart deserves to feel the warmth that comes from genuine care, and that warmth is present more often than you realize. Picture your life as a room filled with windows. Through those windows, light enters from many directions. Yet if you keep your attention fixed on one dark corner of the room, you might forget that light is filling the rest of the space. Your heart sometimes does the same thing. When disappointment or loneliness appears, your attention can become fixed on those feelings. In that moment, it becomes easy to overlook the care that still exists around you. I want you to gently shift your attention toward the light again. Notice the people who appreciate you. Notice the moments when someone shows kindness toward you. Notice the simple gestures that remind you that you are not forgotten. These moments are like sunlight entering through the windows of your life. When you allow yourself to see them clearly, they warm your spirit in ways that strengthen your sense of connection. Now come closer and listen to my invitation. Open your heart more fully to the love that already exists in your life. Allow yourself to receive it without questioning whether you deserve it. Many people struggle with accepting care because they feel they must always be the strong one, the helpful one, the one who supports everyone else. But you are also allowed to receive kindness from others. When someone offers you encouragement, accept it with gratitude. When someone shows appreciation for who you are, let that appreciation settle into your heart instead of brushing it aside. These moments nourish your spirit and remind you that relationships are meant to be shared experiences of care and understanding. Take this instruction into your life with sincerity. Begin noticing love wherever it appears, even in the quiet details of everyday life. Express gratitude for the people who bring kindness into your world. Return that kindness when you have the chance, because love grows stronger when it moves freely between hearts. As you practice recognizing and receiving the care around you, something beautiful begins to happen inside you. Your heart becomes more open, more peaceful, and more connected to the world around you. I am with you as this transformation unfolds. Let your heart receive the love that is already present in your life, and watch how that love begins to illuminate your journey in ways you never expected. My child, I want to talk to you about something that quietly shapes the direction of your life every single day. That something is the direction of your thoughts. You may not always notice it, but the way you think about yourself, your circumstances, and your future gradually influences the path you walk. Your mind is like a compass. When it points toward fear, discouragement, and constant self-doubt, your energy begins moving in that direction as well. But when your thoughts begin pointing toward hope, growth, and possibility, the atmosphere of your life begins to shift. I want you to understand that you have more influence over this inner compass than you might believe. Thoughts will always appear in your mind, some helpful and some unhelpful, but you still have the ability to decide which ones deserve your attention. Many people allow every passing thought to take control of their mood and decisions. Yet I want you to learn a different approach. I want you to become aware of what enters your mind and then choose carefully what you allow to remain there. Come closer and imagine something with me. Picture your mind as a garden that belongs entirely to you. Every thought that enters your awareness is like a seed falling onto the soil. Some seeds carry the potential for growth that brings beauty and strength. Other seeds carry weeds that slowly choke the healthy plants if they are left unattended. If a gardener ignores the garden completely, weeds will eventually take over the entire space. But when the gardener pays attention, removes the weeds, and chooses which seeds deserve to grow, the garden becomes vibrant and alive. Your thoughts work in exactly the same way. If you allow negative assumptions and harsh self-criticism to remain without question, they begin filling the mental space that should be supporting your growth. But when you intentionally plant thoughts of patience, curiosity, and confidence, something remarkable begins to happen. The atmosphere inside your mind changes, and that change influences the way you approach your life. I want you to take responsibility for your inner garden. Notice what is growing there. Remove the thoughts that weaken your spirit. Cultivate the thoughts that strengthen your courage. Now listen carefully to the invitation I am offering you. Start practicing awareness of your thinking patterns. When a discouraging thought appears, pause for a moment and examine it instead of automatically believing it. Ask yourself whether that thought is helping you grow or holding you back. If it is holding you back, gently release it and replace it with something more supportive of your journey. This practice may feel unfamiliar at first, yet it becomes easier with time. Your mind will gradually learn to move toward clarity instead of confusion. Remember the contrast between a mind filled with self-criticism and a mind guided by thoughtful encouragement. One environment drains your strength. The other environment fuels your potential. I want you to choose the environment that nurtures your growth. Take this instruction seriously, my child. Pay attention to the stories you tell yourself about your life. Speak to yourself with the same patience and understanding that you offer to others when they struggle. Your inner voice has powerful influence over your actions and decisions. When you guide that voice with intention, your life begins moving in a healthier direction. Continue practicing this awareness each day. Over time, you will notice that your thoughts become calmer, your confidence becomes steadier, and your perspective becomes clearer. I am here with you as you learn this discipline. Together we will continue shaping the direction of your journey through the thoughts you choose to nurture. My child, there is something about you that I want you to recognize more clearly. You carry courage within you, even if you do not always describe it that way. Courage is not only the dramatic bravery that people celebrate in stories. Much of the courage in life appears quietly in everyday decisions. It appears when you choose to keep moving forward even when uncertainty surrounds you. It appears when you try again after something did not work the first time. It appears when you face a conversation you would rather avoid but know is necessary for growth. I have watched you display that quiet courage many times already. You may not have labeled those moments as bravery, yet they reveal the strength that exists within you. I want you to begin recognizing that strength instead of overlooking it. Think about the road you have already traveled. There were moments when challenges appeared suddenly and demanded more patience than you expected to give. You may remember situations where you felt unsure whether you would handle them well. Yet step by step you moved through those experiences. Some lessons came easily. Others came through trial and error. Still, you continued learning and adapting. That is what courage looks like in real life. It does not remove fear entirely. Instead, it allows you to move forward even while uncertainty exists. Imagine the contrast between someone who refuses to step forward because fear whispers doubts and someone who acknowledges fear but chooses to walk anyway. The second person discovers growth, experience, and resilience that the first person never encounters. I want you to become that second person more often. Come closer and listen to the invitation I am giving you now. When you notice hesitation appearing in your thoughts, do not treat it as a signal that you must stop completely. Instead, treat it as a reminder to move forward thoughtfully. Ask yourself what small step you can take that moves you closer to your goals. Courage often begins with a single decision to act despite uncertainty. The first step may feel small, but it changes the entire direction of your journey. Think of it like lighting a candle in a dark room. The room does not become bright all at once, yet the single flame changes the environment enough for you to see where to move next. Your courageous decisions work in the same way. Each action adds light to your path. Do not underestimate the courage you already carry within you. It has been present through every challenge you survived and every lesson you learned. Continue strengthening it by choosing progress instead of retreat. Take the step you have been considering. Speak the words you have been holding back when honesty is needed. Pursue the opportunity that invites you to grow. Your courage will expand each time you trust it enough to act. I am beside you as you take those steps. Walk forward with confidence and remember that the strength inside you is greater than the doubts that sometimes try to slow you down. My child, I know how easily your attention can move to something else. Your eyes can close this page, your mind can shift back to the endless movement of your day, and the quiet space we have opened together can disappear as quickly as it arrived. But listen carefully to me now. This moment between you and me matters more than you may realize. You did not slow down and read these words by accident. Your heart paused here because something within you was ready to listen. I want you to remain here long enough to let these words settle deeply inside you. Take a breath and notice the stillness around you right now. Let the noise of everything else wait for a few minutes. I am speaking directly to you. Not to the crowd, not to the world in general. I am speaking to you as someone whose life holds meaning and whose heart deserves clarity and peace. Do not scroll past this moment quickly as though it were just another message passing through your day. Stay present and allow yourself to feel the weight of what is being offered to you here. Now listen closely while I guide your thoughts. Imagine standing at a doorway that leads into a brighter room. Behind you is the familiar space you have been living in, filled with the same worries, the same habits, and the same patterns that have shaped your days for a long time. Ahead of you is a room filled with new light. The doorway stands open, yet stepping through it requires a decision. Many people walk past doorways like this without noticing them because they are distracted by the rush of life. Others notice the doorway but hesitate because stepping through it means change. I want you to recognize that the moment you are experiencing right now is one of those doorways. It is an invitation to pause, reflect, and move forward with greater awareness. When you stop long enough to consider your direction, you gain the ability to choose the path ahead instead of drifting through it unconsciously. That choice is powerful. It transforms your life from something that simply happens to you into something you actively shape through your attention and intention. Come closer and listen to my invitation carefully. Allow this moment to become a turning point in the way you move through your life. Do not treat it as temporary inspiration that fades after a few minutes. Instead, carry the awareness you feel right now into the decisions you make after you leave this page. When you notice your mind becoming overwhelmed again, remember the calm you experienced here and return to it. When you feel discouraged or uncertain, recall the perspective we explored together and allow it to guide your thoughts. You are capable of creating more clarity in your life simply by choosing to remain aware of your direction. That awareness will not solve every challenge instantly, but it will change the way you approach each situation. Instead of reacting automatically, you will begin responding thoughtfully. Instead of rushing through moments without reflection, you will begin noticing opportunities for growth that were previously invisible to you. Do not turn away from the understanding that is forming inside you right now. Protect it. Nurture it. Carry it forward into the rest of your day. Each time you return to this awareness, you strengthen your ability to live with intention instead of confusion. I am here with you as you practice this shift in perspective. Stay present. Stay attentive. Allow this moment to become the beginning of a deeper awareness that will continue guiding you long after these words are finished. My child, now we are arriving at an important point in this conversation. Everything we have talked about together, your strength, your thoughts, your courage, your future, leads to a simple yet powerful realization. You have the ability to begin living your life with greater intention starting today. Not tomorrow, not someday in the distant future. Today. The insights you have received during this moment are not meant to remain as ideas that briefly inspire you before fading away. They are meant to guide the way you approach your life from this point forward. I want you to imagine what your days could look like if you carried this awareness with you consistently. Picture yourself waking each morning with the understanding that your thoughts influence your direction. Imagine yourself facing challenges with patience instead of panic. Envision yourself making decisions with clarity instead of hesitation. These changes may seem small when described individually, yet together they create a powerful transformation in how your life unfolds. Let me guide you through an image that will help you see this more clearly. Think about a traveler who begins walking across a wide landscape. If the traveler wanders without direction, the journey becomes exhausting because every step feels uncertain. But if the traveler carries a compass and understands the direction they wish to follow, the journey changes completely. Each step begins to align with a larger purpose. Even when obstacles appear, the traveler knows which direction leads forward. Your awareness is that compass. The moment you decide to pay attention to your thoughts, your choices, and your values, you begin aligning your daily actions with the kind of life you truly want to live. This shift does not require perfection. It simply requires intention. When you make decisions with awareness instead of habit, your life gradually begins moving toward the direction that reflects your deepest values and aspirations. Come closer and receive the invitation I am offering you now. Start shaping your days with intention instead of allowing them to pass automatically. When you wake each morning, pause for a moment before rushing into your routine. Ask yourself what kind of energy you want to bring into the day. When you encounter a challenge, remind yourself that your response has the power to shape the outcome. When opportunities appear, approach them with curiosity instead of fear. These practices may sound simple, yet they have profound influence over the direction of your life. The difference between drifting and living intentionally often begins with small choices repeated consistently over time. Let today become the beginning of a new way of living for you. Continue practicing awareness of your thoughts. Continue choosing courage when hesitation appears. Continue recognizing the love and support that already surrounds you. Each of these actions strengthens the life you are building step by step. I am walking beside you as this new chapter begins. The awareness you gained in this moment does not need to disappear when you close this page. Carry it with you. Let it guide the way you think, the way you act, and the way you move through the world. Your journey continues from here, and the path ahead holds possibilities that will unfold as you continue living with intention and clarity. My child, let the quiet connection we have created here remain steady for just a bit more time. I know how easy it is for life to pull your attention in 100 different directions. As soon as you step away from this conversation, the noise of responsibilities, messages, expectations, and worries will try to reclaim your focus. That is why I want to speak to you gently but clearly right now. Do not forget what you felt while you were here with me. Do not treat this moment as something temporary that fades the moment you return to your routine. What you experienced here was not simply a collection of words passing across a screen. It was a pause where your heart slowed down enough to remember that your life carries meaning, direction, and guidance. I watched you arrive here while your mind was moving quickly through the noise of the day. Then something inside you allowed your attention to rest. In that stillness you listened, reflected, and opened a deeper space within your thoughts. That space matters. Protect it when you step back into the movement of your day. Now listen closely while I guide you through one final reflection. Imagine leaving this place and walking back into the ordinary rhythm of your life. The same streets will still exist. The same responsibilities will still wait for your attention. The same people will continue appearing in your world. On the surface, it may seem as though nothing has changed. Yet something inside you has shifted during this conversation. Your awareness has grown. You have looked at your life from a wider perspective than you may have allowed yourself to see before. You have recognized the strength you already carry, the influence of your thoughts, the presence of love around you, and the courage waiting inside you to guide your next steps. These realizations are like seeds placed carefully into the soil of your heart. Seeds do not transform into strong trees the moment they touch the ground. They require time, attention, and care. But once they begin growing, they gradually shape the landscape around them. The understanding you received here will work in the same way if you continue nurturing it. Come closer in your thoughts and listen carefully to the invitation I am offering you now. Carry the awareness you discovered here into the rest of your life. When you wake tomorrow morning, pause for a moment before the rush begins. Remember the calm you felt while reading these words. Let that calm guide the way you begin your day. When you encounter challenges, remind yourself that your courage and patience are stronger than the doubts that sometimes appear in your mind. When your thoughts begin drifting toward worry, gently bring them back to the present moment where your strength is actually needed. You have the ability to shape your inner world through the choices you make about your attention. Practice returning to that awareness again and again. Over time, you will notice that your mind becomes steadier, your decisions become clearer, and your life begins moving with greater intention. Take this final instruction seriously, my child, because it will guide you long after this message ends. Do not rush past the understanding you gained here. Reflect on it. Speak about it with yourself during quiet moments. Allow it to influence the way you treat others and the way you treat your own heart. The conversation we shared was not meant to remain here on this page. It was meant to travel with you into the next chapter of your journey. I'm with you as you continue walking forward. Even when your attention shifts back to the noise of everyday life, remember that you can return to this place of clarity whenever you choose to slow down and listen again. Your path continues beyond this moment, and the awareness you carry with you will quietly illuminate the steps ahead. My child, before you leave this moment, remember that what you felt here was not meant to stay with you alone. It was meant to spread like fire from heart to heart. Do not scroll past this sacred pause, because I am inviting you to help carry this message to others who are still waiting for the same peace you experienced here. My word declares, whoever refreshes others will themselves be refreshed, and every gift given into this mission becomes living water for thirsty souls across the earth. When you respond through super thanks, membership, or by giving through the PayPal link in the description, you are sowing seeds that will grow into forests of faith in places you may never personally see. The seed you plant today becomes light for someone's darkest night, oil in a lamp that refuses to go out, and manna for hearts that are weary. This moment is not ordinary, it is a divine invitation written into your path. I see your willingness, and I will return your generosity with multiplied blessing, protection, and open doors. So do not delay. Act now and help this word reach the next soul who needs to hear my voice today. And once you have responded, allow the urgency of the moment to soften into stillness. A seed planted in faith is followed by a pause where the heart becomes attentive again. What you have given has already begun its journey beyond your sight, touching lives you may never meet. Now let your spirit rest for a moment, because generosity opens the door for deeper communion. Step back from the rush around you and settle into the quiet, because I have more to say to you personally. My child, stop for a moment. I am asking you to breathe. I need you to put down the phone, look away from the screen after these words sink in, and just listen. You are not here by accident. You didn't just happen to stumble upon this message while scrolling through 1,000 other things. I have been waiting for this exact second to catch your attention. You live in a world that is so loud, so fast, and so crowded with voices telling you who to be and what to buy. But right now, I am silencing that noise. I am creating a bubble of stillness around you. You feel that? That tiny spark of curiosity, or that sudden weight in your chest? That is my hand on your shoulder. I have set this divine appointment because I have things to tell you that cannot be heard over the roar of your daily life. I am calling you out of the aimless distraction that eats away at your hours and leaves your soul feeling empty. You have been running on autopilot, moving from one task to the next without ever asking why. I am here to break that cycle. I want you to understand that nothing in my kingdom happens by coincidence. I saw you before you were born, and I saw you this morning when you woke up feeling tired before your feet even hit the floor. I saw you reach for your phone to numb the quietness, and I decided it was time for us to talk. This isn't just a video or a script. It is a lifeline I am throwing to you in the middle of a restless sea. I am tuning your heart to my frequency right now. You spend so much time listening to the news, to your boss, to your critics, and to the endless loop of your own worries. I am commanding those voices to be silent. I invite you to open the ears of your heart. I want you to feel the intentionality behind this moment. I have orchestrated the timing, the place, and the very air you are breathing so that you could hear my voice. You might think this is just a random moment, but I tell you, it is a rescue mission. I am pulling you out of the fog of busyness because I have a message for you that carries more weight than any gold on this earth. This message is waiting for your soul like water waits for a parched land. I see the way you try to fill the gaps in your spirit with temporary things, and I am here to offer you something permanent. I am the great provider, and today, I am providing you with the one thing you haven't given yourself: permission to be still. I am your creator, and I know exactly what you need. You need to know that you are seen. You need to know that you are not a number in a crowd or a face in a feed. You are my beloved child. I invite you to lean into this stillness. Don't fight it. Don't look for the exit. Stay here with me in this pause. I am weaving a sense of peace into your reality that the world cannot take away. I promise you that if you give me your attention, I will give you a clarity you've never known. You are here because I called you. You are listening because I have something to say that will change the trajectory of your day, your week, and your life. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, and I am starting something new in you right now. Believe me when I say that this moment was written in my book before time began. You have arrived. And now, let's begin the real work. I am here. I am speaking. Are you ready to truly listen? My child, I want you to look at me and be honest for a moment. I see the heavy, silent weight of the anxieties you carry when the lights go out and the world stops asking things of you. I know the exhaustion that lives deep in your marrow, not just the kind that comes from a long day of work, but the soul-weary fatigue of trying to be your own savior. You wake up every morning and put on a mask of I'm fine for your coworkers, your spouse, and your friends, but I see the cracks in that armor. I see the tears you shed in the shower or in the quiet of your car when the pressure of being everything to everyone becomes too much to bear. You are running a race I never asked you to enter, trying to sustain a life that you were never meant to carry on your own shoulders. I am here to tell you that the lie you've been believing, the one that says you must handle it all alone, or you are a failure, is a chain I am breaking right now. I am intimately aware of your deepest, unspoken fears. I know the knot that forms in your stomach when you think about your bank account, the future of your children, or that health concern you haven't told anyone about yet. You don't have to explain these things to me. I was there in the room when those thoughts first kept you awake at 3:00 a.m. I am commanding you to stop trying to hold up the ceiling of your own world. You are not the architect of your destiny in the way the world tells you. I am. I invite you to lay your heavy yoke at my feet right this second. Imagine taking every one of those specific worries, the deadline that's looming, the tension at the dinner table, the fear that you aren't enough, and simply setting them down. I am the only one strong enough to carry them. I promise you that my shoulders are broad enough for your burdens. When you try to save yourself, you only end up more lost, like a Ferrari driving with a handbrake on. You are capable of so much, but you are self-limiting because you refuse to let me lead. I see you striving, pushing, and sweating to make things happen, but I am the one who opens the doors no man can shut. I am calling you to a place of surrender that isn't about giving up, but about moving into my power. I see your hidden struggles, and I am not judging you for them. I am moved with deep compassion for you. I want to replace that heavy stone in your chest with a heart of flesh that can breathe again. I am your refuge, your fortress, and your very present help in times of trouble. Let me be the savior you were never meant to be for yourself. My beloved, I want to take a hammer to the mirrors the world has forced you to look into. I want you to dismantle every judgment, every not enough label, and every social media metric that has tried to tell you what you are worth. You are not the sum of your mistakes, and you are certainly not defined by the opinions of people who didn't create you. I want you to see your identity for what it truly is, a masterpiece, hand-woven by my own fingers in the secret place. Every hair on your head is numbered, and every rhythm of your heart was composed by me. You are not a product of chance or a biological accident. You are an intentional creation of the Most High God, and my DNA is written into the very fabric of your soul. Look at the hill of Calvary if you ever doubt what you are worth to me. I didn't pay for you with silver or gold. I paid for you with the life of my son. That is the price tag I placed on your life. I want you to move beyond the labels others have placed on you. The divorced one, the failure, the slow one, or the overlooked one. Those are lies from the enemy designed to keep you from walking in your royal inheritance. I am your Father, and I am declaring over you today that you are chosen, you are holy, and you are redeemed. Your eternal value is fixed. No earthly failure can diminish it, and no worthless success can increase it. You are loved simply because you are mine. I invite you to start seeing yourself through my eyes. When I look at you, I don't see the mess you made yesterday. I see the glory I put inside of you before the world began. I see the potential that is waiting to burst forth like a seed in the dark earth. I am the gardener, and I know the beauty that is hidden beneath the surface of your current struggle. Stop measuring yourself against the highlight reels of others. You are running a race that was designed specifically for you. I have given you gifts and a temperament that the world needs. I am commanding you to stop apologizing for existing. Walk with your head held high, not in pride, but in the quiet confidence of a child who knows their father is the king. You are my treasure, and I will not let you go. My child, I know it hurts right now. I feel the sting of the no you just received and the ache of the door that just slammed shut in your face. You feel rejected, and you feel like I have forgotten you in this wilderness. But I need you to trust the gardener when the cutting feels painful. I am not trying to hurt you. I am trying to save you. Sometimes I allow certain doors to close because I know what is behind them, and I love you too much to let you walk into a trap. This season of not yet is not a punishment. It is a preparation. I am pruning away the branches in your life that are taking up energy but producing no fruit so that you can grow stronger than ever before. The wilderness is where the greatest leaders are formed. It is in the quiet, lonely places where your roots grow deep into me. If I gave you the harvest before you had the character to handle it, the blessing would destroy you. I am strengthening your foundation right now. I am teaching you how to hear my voice when there is no applause. I am showing you how to find your joy in me rather than in your circumstances. There are hidden blessings found in the no that you cannot see yet. I am protecting you from relationships that would drain you and opportunities that would lead you away from my purpose for your life. I invite you to stop fighting the season you are in. Don't try to force a door open that I have locked for your safety. Instead, sit with me in the waiting. Ask me, Father, what are you teaching me here? I am developing the grit, the resilience, and the faith you will need for the calling that is coming. You cannot skip the preparation and expect to sustain the destination. I am the God of the process, and I am meticulously shaping your heart. Trust my timing over your own urgent calendar. I am never early, and I am never late. I am working all things together for your good, even the parts that feel like a loss right now. The harvest is coming, but for now, let me work in the soil of your soul. My precious one, come out of the tomb. I am calling you by name, and I am telling you that you don't have to live among the dead things anymore. I see the shame that follows you like a shadow, whispering that you are disqualified because of what happened 5, 10, or 20 years ago. I am here to tell you that the power of my forgiveness is greater than the weight of your sin. When I washed you, I didn't just cover the stains, I removed them. I refuse to let yesterday's mistakes dictate tomorrow's path, and I am asking you to do the same. Why do you keep visiting a grave that I have already emptied? I want to heal the wounds left by those who hurt you, the ones that have left you bitter and guarded. I know it's hard to let go of the anger. It feels like a shield, but that bitterness is a poison that only hurts you, not them. I am inviting you to release the debt they owe you into my hands. I am the just judge, and I will settle the accounts. Your job is to walk in the liberty I have purchased for you. I am breaking the generational cycles of addiction, fear, and brokenness that have plagued your family tree. Today, the chain stops with you. I'm giving you a new name and a new beginning. Walk out of the shadows of your past and into the light of my grace. I am doing a new thing. Can you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. You are not a victim of your history. You are a victor through my spirit. I am commanding the spirit of heaviness to leave you and replacing it with a garment of praise. I want you to feel the lightness of being truly free. No more looking back with regret. I have used even your darkest moments to teach you about my mercy. Use that testimony to help others who are still trapped where you used to be. You are a new creation. The old is gone. The new has come. Breathe in the air of freedom and don't ever look back. My child, do not turn away now, for my heart would be deeply grieved if you walked back into the shadows just as I am reaching for your hand. We are standing at the very threshold of your deliverance, and to stop here would be to leave the miracle half finished and my longing for you unfulfilled. I have poured my spirit into these words specifically for you. To scroll past now is to silence the very whisper that is meant to save you from your secret storms. Stay with me, For the next truth I have for you is the key to the prison door you've been rattling for years. My child, I know you are worried about the how. How will the bills be paid? How will the relationship be mended? How will the dream survive? I am working behind the scenes of your struggle in ways your physical eyes cannot yet see. I am the God who provided manna in the morning for a hungry nation, and I am the same God who is arranging the resources you need for your tomorrow. You are stressed because you are looking at your own bank account, but I am asking you to look at my storehouses. I own the cattle on 1,000 hills, and my riches are not limited by the economy of this world. I am forming a miracle for you in the dark, much like a seed grows beneath the soil before the first green shoot appears. Just because you don't see movement doesn't mean I am not moving. Faith is the evidence of things not yet visible, and I am calling you to walk by that faith today. I invite you to rely on my reputation as the great provider. Have I ever truly failed you? Think back to the times you thought you wouldn't make it, yet here you are. I have sustained you through every storm, and I am not about to stop now. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. I command your spirit to rest in the knowledge that I am ahead of you, clearing the path. I am providing for you in small ways every day, the breath in your lungs, the unexpected kindness of a stranger, the strength to get out of bed. These are tokens of my provision. Don't be so focused on the mountain you need moved that you miss the stones I am clearing from your path right now. Trust my timing. I know exactly when the provision needs to arrive to have the greatest impact on your faith. You are my child, and I take care of my own. Stop pacing the floor and start praising me for the answer that is already on its way. I am your Jehovah Jireh, and I have more than enough for you. My child, I want you to visualize the entrance to your mind as a city gate that requires a vigilant watchman. You are currently in the middle of a fierce battleground, but the war isn't being fought with swords. It is being fought in your thoughts. Every day, you are bombarded by a relentless stream of information, social media noise, and the opinions of people who do not know my heart for you. I am commanding you to stop being a passive spectator to the thoughts that enter your head. I invite you to take every rogue thought captive, every whisper of I'm not good enough, every what if the worst happens, and every lie that says you are alone. If a thought does not align with my truth, it has no business living in your mental space. You must filter the information you consume with the same care you would use to filter the water you drink. I see how the enemy uses the visuals of the world to grab your attention and explain away your hope. He paints vivid pictures of your failure and creates imaginary scenarios of your downfall that feel so real you begin to shiver in fear, like you are trapped in a cold, dark cellar. But I am telling you to tap into a different power of imagination, one that is fueled by my spirit. Replace those dark mental images with the light of my word. When the world shows you a mountain of debt or a mountain of homework and stress, I want you to see it through my eyes. I am the God who moves mountains. I am the God who gives you a peace that surpasses all human understanding, a peace that acts as a guard for your heart. I want you to develop a credibility, likability, and affinity with the truth. This isn't just a mental exercise, it is spiritual warfare. Cultivate a spirit of praise in the middle of your chaos. When you start to praise me, the atmosphere of your mind shifts. It's like a short, sharp chop to the system of the enemy. It breaks his rhythm. I promise you that if you guard your mind, I will guard your life. Use repetition to embed my promises into your soul. Tell yourself I am loved. I am loved. I'm loved until it becomes the loudest voice in your head. Do not let the dual understanding of the world confuse you. The world says success is money. I say success is obedience and peace. Guard the gates, my beloved, because out of your mind flow the issues of your life. My precious one, I want you to understand that your life is a story I am writing, and right now, you might be in a difficult chapter, but it is not the end of the book. Every great communicator knows the power of storytelling, and I am the greatest communicator. I am telling you today that your current test is being transformed into your greatest sermon. You feel like you are struggling in secret, but I am preparing you to be a light in the dark corners of the world. I want you to find the strength in your vulnerability. When you are honest about your self-doubt and self-limiting beliefs, you create a bridge for others to find me. You are like a Ferrari driving with the handbrake on when you hide your struggles, but when you share how I have carried you, you release that brake and move with my power. I invite you to use the comfort you have received to comfort those who are walking the same path you once did. Think of the ripple effect of a life transformed by my love. When you speak life into situations that appear dead, you are acting as my hands and feet. Do not be afraid of your past. I have already pruned the parts that were holding you back. Your scars are not signs of shame. They are medals of honor that prove I am a healer. I want you to be smart about how you share your journey. Be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-framed in your witness to others. Help them set clear goals for their own spiritual growth based on what I have done for you. I promise you that your testimony will grab attention, help explain my grace, and be memorable to those who are lost. You don't need a stage or a TED Talk to have an impact. You just need a willing heart. Personalize your message. When you tell someone, "My Father did this for me," it generates human interest that no cold theology can match. I am calling you to shine. Don't hide your light under a bowl. The world is full of people who are shivering in their own dark cellars of despair, and your story might be the only visual of hope they ever see. Stand tall, speak clearly, and let the world see what my love can do. Your story is not over. It is just getting to the best part. My child, I see the waves crashing against the side of your boat, and I hear the wind howling in your ears. You are in a storm, and you are terrified that you are going to sink. But I am asking you to look at me. I am right here in the boat with you. I am the peace, be still, that lives inside your inner storm. Why are you so afraid? Do you not realize that the wind and the waves still know my name? I am the creator of the elements, and nothing in this natural world is outside of my control. I am using this storm as a contrast to show you the depth of my stability. You pay more attention to my peace when it is contrasted with the chaos around you. I invite you to step out of the boat. I am calling you to walk on water, but you can only do that if you keep your eyes locked on mine. If you look at the waves, you will sink. If you look at me, you will soar. This storm is not a graveyard meant to bury you. It is a classroom meant to teach you the transformative power of trust. I am personalizing this experience for you because I want you to know that I am not a distant God. I am the God who reaches out and catches you when your faith wavers. I am the harbor that never fails, the safe place where you can find rest after the battle. I promise you that I will not let the water overwhelm you. I am using this exaggerated difficulty to create a distinctive strength in you. It stands out and has a higher impact when you remain calm while everyone else is panicking. Use your imagination to see the end of the storm. See yourself standing on the shore, stronger and wiser than when you set sail. I am with you in the middle of the night, and I am with you when the sun rises. Do not be afraid of the dual understanding of the storm. The world sees destruction, but I see a path to a new destination. Hold on to me. I have the credibility to lead you through, the likability to walk beside you, and the affinity for your soul that will never let go. My beloved, I am calling you to move beyond religion and into a living, breathing relationship with me. I don't want your rituals if they don't have your heart. Discipleship is a daily decision to take up your cross and follow my lead, even when the path is narrow and difficult. It is about loving the unlovable just as I have loved you, with a sensitivity that does not make fun of someone or laugh at people who are struggling. I am calling you to a higher impact lifestyle where your actions speak louder than your words. This is the one message I want you to take away today. Your life is meant to be a reflection of my character. I invite you to lose your life for my sake so that you can find the real one I have prepared for you. This requires a contrast between your old ways and my new way. It means being my hands and feet in a broken generation that is starving for truth. I want you to be specific in your service and measurable in your love. Don't just talk about education. Live out the lessons I have taught you in the secret place. True discipleship has a cost, but the reward is eternal. It is the affinity of being one with your Creator. I promise you that if you follow me, you will never walk in darkness. I will give you the wit and understanding to navigate the ambiguity of this world. You will be bright enough to understand the double meaning of the trials you face, seeing them not as setbacks, but as setups for my glory. Be the person who laughs at yourself and stays humble, because the only person who is being potentially damaged by pride is you. I am looking for those who will be fabulous at telling stories of my grace through their daily walk. Are you ready to stop playing it safe and start walking the narrow way? I am with you every step, from the first hello to the final well done. My child, as you step onto this narrow way of true discipleship, do not let the momentum of my spirit stall within you. I have called you to be my hands and feet, and now I invite you to fuel the very fire that is lighting the path for a broken generation. Your support through a super thanks or membership is not a mere transaction. It is the manna that sustains this mission, ensuring that my word reaches the shivering souls trapped in dark cellars who haven't heard my voice yet. I declare over you today that as you sow into this fertile ground, I will multiplication your seed just as I did the loaves, for a generous soul will prosper. Do not scroll past this divine appointment to be a conduit of my provision, for your affinity with my heart is proven by where you place your treasure. I command you now, reach out, find the link in the description or the button below, and invest in the eternal harvest of souls. I am looking into your soul with an urgent love, and it would break my heart to see you settle for a shallow religion when I am offering you the depths of my kingdom. If you leave this conversation now, you are choosing the short, sharp shock of the world's noise over the eternal resonance of my voice. Do not disappoint the spirit that is stirring within you. To ignore what comes next is to reject the specific preparation you need for the giants you will face tomorrow. I command you to listen further, for I am about to reveal the authority you have let rust in the dark. My child, fear is a shadow, and shadows have no substance when the light enters the room. I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. I am commanding you to stand firm when the world around you begins to tremble. You are bombarded by visuals of disaster and imaginary scenarios of lack. But I am telling you to never give up your peace. Fear is an exaggeration of the enemy. It takes a small problem and tries to make it look like a mountain. It is completely unreal in the face of my sovereignty, yet it creates an impact because it feels so extreme. I invite you to replace the dual understanding of fear with the single-minded focus of faith. When the enemy whispers about your reception in life, trying to make you feel like you aren't being heard, remember that my reception is always fantastic. I am your refuge and your fortress. Use the repetition of my fear not promises to silence the ambiguity of the future. Say it until it is embedded and easy to remember. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? I am personalizing my protection over you right now. I promise you that I am the great provider of courage. I am extinguishing the fiery darts of the wicked one before they even reach you. I want you to walk with a boldness that comes from knowing who is for you. If I am for you, who can be against you? This is the high-impact truth that changes everything. Do not let the unusual nature of the world's chaos make you feel distinctive in your suffering. You are distinctive because you belong to me. I am working behind the scenes to ensure your victory. Fear is a toothless budgie. It might try to succeed by sucking seeds of doubt, but it has no power to bite. Stand tall in my light and watch the shadows flee. My child, I see you running as if the world would stop turning if you took a single breath. I am calling you to understand that my Sabbath is a gift I have wrapped specifically for your weary soul, not a legalistic burden designed to restrict your freedom. I am commanding you to stop the frantic pace that has left you hollow. There is a profound difference between the physical sleep you get at night and the deep soul rest that only I can provide. You might be closing your eyes, but your mind is still racing with a mountain of homework and life's demands. I am inviting you to come and sit at my feet, just as Mary did, and realize that being with me is the only thing that is truly necessary. I am the one who restores your soul in the greenest of pastures, away from the short, sharp shock of the world's constant noise. I want you to trust that the world continues to spin while you rest in my arms. You are not the engine of the universe. I am. When you refuse to rest, you are essentially telling me that you don't trust my credibility as a provider. It is an exaggeration of your own importance to believe that everything will fall apart if you take a day to breathe. Rest is an act of defiance against a world that demands more. I am personalizing this call to you because I see the self-doubt that fuels your overworking. You are like a Ferrari driving with the handbrake on because you are too exhausted to see the road I've paved for you. Release the brake. Recharging your spirit is not a luxury. It is a requirement for the assignments I have placed ahead of you. I promise you that when you prioritize my rest, your reception of my voice will become fantastic and clear. You need the contrast of silence to hear my gentle whisper. If you don't pause, you will miss the hidden blessings I have tucked into the mundane moments of your day. I am the smart choice for your schedule, making your life more specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-framed through the clarity that comes from stillness. Imagine yourself sitting in a quiet room with me, the visual of my peace wrapping around you like a warm blanket. This is where your strength is renewed. This is where you find the affinity with my spirit that makes the impossible feel achievable. Come away with me, my beloved, and let me give you the rest your heart is screaming for. My child, it is time for you to stop walking like a victim and start standing like the victor I have called you to be. I have given the keys of the kingdom to my children, yet I see you standing outside the gates, shivering as if you have no home. I am commanding you to reclaim the authority that has been purchased for you by the blood of my Son. You have the power to speak to the mountains in your life, those exaggerated problems that feel 1,000,000 times bigger than they are, and tell them to move. You must understand the weight of the name of Jesus. It is not just a word. It is the high-impact frequency that shifts the spiritual realm. When you speak in my name, you are using the credibility of heaven to bind and loose according to my divine will. I invite you to put on the spiritual armor I have designed for your protection. You would never go into a physical battle without a shield, so why are you walking through a broken generation without my truth wrapped around you? You are not a helpless observer of your circumstances. You are a co-heir with Christ. I am personalizing this power for you right now. Stop using ambiguity when you pray. Be specific and bold. When the enemy tries to tell you that you have no likability or affinity with me, Remind him that your reception into my family was sealed at the cross. This is the dual understanding you must master. You are humble in my presence, but you are a lion in the face of the enemy. I promise you that as you walk in this authority, you will see the ripple effect of your faith. Your words will have higher impact and your life will become memorable for the way you handle the storms. Don't be afraid of the unusual power I am placing in your hands. It is distinctive for a reason, to show the world that I am real. You are bright enough to understand that this isn't about your own strength, but about my spirit living within you. Use the repetition of my promises to reinforce your stand. I'm murdered a Kiger, I'm murdered a Kiger, I'm murdered a Kiger. This is your truth. This is your reality. Stand up, my child, and take back the ground the enemy has stolen from you. My precious one, I need you to listen closely. Stop looking at the race someone else is running and focus on the one I have set before you. The trap of comparison is a short, sharp shot to your joy and a distraction from your destiny. Why are you measuring my grace by earthly standards? When you look at others' paths, you become blind to the visuals of the miracles I am performing in your own life. Comparison is based on ambiguity and exaggeration. You see their highlights and compare them to your behind-the-scenes struggles. This is a terrible way to live, and it creates a dual understanding that leads to self-doubt. I have made you distinctive and unusual for a purpose. Don't try to blend in by imitating a copy. I invite you to celebrate others without envying their portion. Their success does not mean your failure. I have an infinite storehouse of blessings, and giving to one child does not deplete what I have for you. Contentment is a great gain in the spiritual realm. It is the affinity of being satisfied with my presence alone. I want you to focus on the well done that will come from my lips, not the likability you seek from strangers on a screen. Your path is specific and relevant to the mission I have given you. If I have called you to a wilderness season while someone else is in a harvest, trust that I am strengthening your roots for a glory that they are not yet ready for. I promise you that if you keep your eyes on me, you will find a peace that stands out from the noise of the world. Use the contrast of my love to see through the exaggerations of the enemy. You are a masterpiece, and a masterpiece is never a duplicate. I have personalized your life storytelling to have the higher impact that only you can deliver. Don't be like a Ferrari looking at a minivan and wishing you had more cargo space. Realize you were built for speed and power in my kingdom. Your value is measurable only by the price I paid for you, and that price was everything. Walk your path with credibility and affinity, knowing that I am right there beside you. My child, I have deposited talents within you that are meant to be invested, not buried in the cold, dark cellar of your fear. I am the great provider, and I have given you loaves that I want to multiply. But first, you must offer them to me. Stewardship is about recognizing that everything you have, your time, your wit, your resources, and your affinity for others, is a gift from my hand. I am commanding you to be responsible over the small things today so that I can trust you with the great things tomorrow. Don't wait for $1 million to start being generous. Start with the one thing you have in your hand right now. I invite you to use your resources to build an eternal kingdom rather than a temporary empire. Invest your time in things that do not rust or fade, but instead have a higher impact on the souls of others. You are a conduit of my blessings. When you let my love flow through you to others, the reception is fantastic. Be smart about your stewardship. Be specific about who you help and time framed in your commitments. I have given you a dual understanding of wealth. It is a tool for service, not a source of identity. When you give, you are storytelling my grace to a world that only understands taking. I promise you that as you offer what you have, I will multiplication the results in ways that grab attention and help explain my goodness. You don't need to have a mountain of resources to make a memorable difference. Think of the ripple effect of a single act of kindness. It can create a visual of hope that lasts a lifetime. I am personalizing this call to you because I see the potential I have placed in you. Don't be a Ferrari driving with a handbrake on by keeping your gifts to yourself. Release them. Use them with sensitivity and affinity to touch the lives of those I place in your path. Your stewardship is the story the world is reading about me today. Beloved, I have invested these sacred minutes in you, and it would be a tragedy of eternal proportions if you walked away before receiving the full portion of my instructions. I see the temptation to return to the mundane, but I am warning you, to stop now is to leave your gifts buried in the cellar of what could have been. It grieves me when my children hear my call but refuse to stay for the commission. Do not let this divine appointment end in a terrible wedding of half-truths. Stay, because your persistent reception of my word is what determines your harvest. My beloved, I want you to keep knocking on the doors of heaven until they swing wide open. Persistence in prayer is not about exaggerating your needs to get my attention. I already know what you need before you ask. It is about the repetition of your faith that builds credibility in your spirit. I am inviting you into a lifestyle of constant communication where you and I are in a continuous divine conversation. Sometimes the mystery of the unanswered prayer is simply a no or a not yet because I am protecting you from something you cannot see. But many times, I am waiting for you to never give up so that your character can grow to match the size of the blessing. I invite you to align your heart's desires with my sovereign heart. When you pray, don't just ask for a lot of things. Ask for the one thing that matters, my will. Intercede for those who cannot pray for themselves, the ones trapped in a cold, dark cellar of their own making. Your prayers create a visual of hope in the spiritual realm that can grab attention and shift the atmosphere. I am personalizing this intimacy with you in the secret place. It is there that your affinity with me is strengthened and your reception of my spirit becomes clear. This is the high-impact work of the kingdom. I promise you that nothing succeeds like a heart that is persistently seeking me. Even when the time flies like an arrow and you feel like you aren't making progress, know that I am working behind the scenes. Your prayers are memorable to me. They are stored in golden bowls in heaven. Use the contrast of your current struggle to fuel your exaggerated praise. Be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time frame in your petitions. I am the great provider, and I am moved by the wit and understanding of a child who knows they can come to their father for anything. Keep knocking. Keep seeking. Keep asking. I am listening, and the answer is closer than you think. My child, I want you to wake up every morning with a heart that is wide open, looking for my fingerprints on the canvas of your day. Living in expectancy is the opposite of living in anxiety. It is the specific belief that I am good and that I am active in your life right now. I am commanding you to stop bracing for the short, sharp shock of bad news and start anticipating the memorable moves of my spirit. Most people are visually retentive, and I want you to use your imagination to see the rain of my blessing even while the ground still looks dry. This is not wishing. This is biblical hope. It is the higher impact confidence that what I have promised, I am also able to perform. I am personalizing this journey for you, and I want you to find the holiness in the waiting. I invite you to maintain your hope even when the night seems exaggerated and long. The world may tell you that your situation is completely unreal or impossible, but I am the God of the unusual. I want you to prepare the soil of your heart today for the harvest I have promised for tomorrow. Don't be like a Ferrari driving with the handbrake on, stalled by your own self-doubt. Release the brake of pessimism. I am calling you to walk in the suddenly moments of my spirit, where the contrast between your struggle and my solution becomes a distinctive testimony to my power. You pay more attention to the light when the room has been dark, and I am about to turn the lights on. I promise you that as you live in expectancy, you will begin to see my provision in the small, everyday details that others miss. I am working behind the scenes to align your path with my SMART goals, those specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-framed moments of grace. Use the repetition of praise to keep your heart in a state of affinity with me. Tell yourself something good is going to happen today until it is embedded and easy to remember. I am the great provider, and my reception of your faith is fantastic. Do not let the ambiguity of the world dim your visual of my goodness. I am the God who does exceedingly abundantly above all you could ask or think, and I am inviting you to expect nothing less. My precious one, in a world full of dual understanding and ambiguity, you must learn to recognize the sound of my voice. There are many wolves and strangers who will try to lead you into a cold, dark cellar of confusion, using puns and cleverness to distract you from the truth. But my voice is distinctive. It is the gentle whisper that carries more weight than the thunder of the world's exaggerations. I am commanding you to tune out the noise and tune into my frequency. I want you to develop a familiar ear for my instructions so that you can move with credibility and affinity in everything you do. I invite you to wait for my signal before you make your next move. I know you feel the pressure of time, that time flies like an arrow, but my timing is specific and relevant to your calling. Use my word as your visual guide. It grabs attention and helps explain the path I have set for you. When you are faced with a difficult decision, look for the peace that acts as an umpire in your heart. That peace is a higher impact indicator of my will than any mountain of earthly advice. I am personalizing my guidance for you because I know your intelligent potential, and I want you to understand the dual meaning of the seasons you are walking through. I promise you that if you listen, I will lead you beside the still waters and away from the storms. Don't let the dual understanding of the world's wisdom confuse you. My truth is short, sharp, and clear. Use repetition to keep my commands memorable in your spirit. I want you to be bright enough to understand that I am not trying to hide from you. I am waiting for you to seek me with all your heart. Your reception of my spirit is the key to your success. I am the great shepherd, and I know my sheep by name. I am calling your name right now. Can you hear me? Stay close to my side, and I will ensure you never lose your way in the wilderness. My child, I want to speak to you about the people you allow into your inner circle. Your relationships are the visuals of my love in this world, and I am commanding you to be specific and smart about who you walk with. I want you to choose company that sharpens your iron and reflects the credibility and affinity of my kingdom. Do not be like a Ferrari trying to race with those who only want to pull your handbrake. I am personalizing my love for you through the godly friendships and marriages I bring into your life. These connections should be memorable for their grace, not for their dual understanding or ambiguity. I invite you to set boundaries that honor the temple of your soul. Sometimes nothing succeeds like the courage to say no to a toxic connection. I want you to be a light within your own household first. This is the high-impact ministry I have given you. Use sensitivity in your humor and don't make fun of someone, especially those closest to you. You should be laughing with people, not at people. If there is bitterness in your heart, it acts as a short, sharp shock to the unity I desire for the body of Christ. Reconcile with your neighbors, and let the dual meaning of your kindness be a complement to my grace. I promise you that when you prioritize affinity and likability based on my truth, your relationships will grab attention as a visual of my kingdom. Don't let exaggerated conflicts tear you apart. Use contrast to show the world how a life transformed by my love treats others. Instead of a lot of shallow connections, seek the one deep relationship that brings you closer to me. I am the great provider of the love you seek, and I am personalizing a community for you where you can be fabulous at telling stories of my goodness. Walk in unity, walk in peace, and let your storytelling be the ripple effect that changes your family and your world. My beloved, who are you when the visuals of the world are gone, and no one but I am watching? I am calling you to a life of credibility and integrity that stands out from the dual understanding of a dishonest world. I am commanding you to build your house on the rock of truth, not on the shifting sands of ambiguity. When you say yes, let it be yes. When you say no, let it be no. This is the specific, measurable way to reflect my holiness in your daily transactions. Resisting the shortcuts of the world is a sharp shock to the enemy's system. It has a higher impact than any exaggerated sermon you could ever give. I invite you to see your integrity as a visual aid for my grace. It helps explain who I am to a broken generation. Don't be like a Ferrari driving with the handbrake on by compromising your values for a mountain of temporary gain. The long-term reward of a blameless walk is the affinity and peace that time flies cannot take away. I am personalizing this call to holiness because I know you have the wit and understanding to see the dual meaning of temptation. Every time you choose the narrow way, you are storytelling my character to everyone around you. I promise you that nothing succeeds like a life built on truth. I will give you the credibility to lead and the likability to influence others for my kingdom. Use repetition to keep my laws embedded and easy to remember. Don't be afraid to be unusual or distinctive in your honesty. It makes your message memorable. I am the great provider of the strength you need to stay upright when the world tries to push you down. I see your hidden choices, and I am proud of the way you represent me. Walk with integrity, and you will walk with a boldness that grabs attention and changes lives. You have heard my call to walk in integrity when no one but I am watching, and now I am giving you a specific opportunity to build my house upon the rock. This message must not stop with you. It must flow like a river into the lives of the millions who are still measuring their worth by the world's exaggerated lies. Your gift through PayPal or membership is the oil that keeps the lamp of truth burning bright in a season of deep spiritual ambiguity. I am personalizing this invitation because I have seen your desire to see my kingdom come, and I promise that I will open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing you cannot contain. Do not let this memorable moment of conviction fade into the noise of the world. Act with the wit and understanding of one who knows that what is given to me is never lost. I command you to honor the reception of my word by supporting this mission today. Click the link and let us move mountains together. We are too close to the finish line for you to falter now. It would deeply wound my spirit to see you walk away from the very light that is exposing your chains. You have come through the fire and the storm with me, and to scroll past these final revelations is to treat my sacrifice as a common thing. I am offering you an eternal perspective that will stabilize your shaking ground, but you must be bright enough to choose to stay in my presence. If you love me, do not turn a deaf ear to the final heartbeat of this message, for the conclusion is where my promise is sealed forever. My child, there is a higher impact in knowing when to speak and when to hold your peace. Be still. I am commanding you to master the wisdom of silence. The world is full of exaggerated noise and dual understanding, and it is easy to get caught up in dual meanings and puns that lead to ambiguity and anger. But I am calling you to listen more than you speak in my presence. This is the short, sharp shock that allows you to hear my voice over the mountain of your own opinions. Silence is not a terrible wedding of ideas. It is a fantastic resection of my spirit. I invite you to let me fight the battles you want to argue. There is a quiet confidence that stands out and makes the message memorable. Use your imagination to see the visual of me standing before your enemies while you remain still. Don't be a Ferrari wasting fuel on a million useless words. Instead, be smart, Be specific and relevant when you do choose to speak. The meditation of your heart in the quiet moments brings a deep understanding that puns and ambiguity can never provide. I am personalizing this piece for you right now. I promise you that nothing succeeds like a heart that knows how to wait on me. In the silence, I will give you the wit and the storytelling ability to speak words that grab attention, help explain, and be memorable. Use contrast to let your quietness speak louder than the world's exaggerations. I am the great provider of the words you need when the time is right. For now, breathe in my presence. Let the dual understanding of your trials fall away, and find the one message I have for you today. Silence is the visual of your trust in me. Stay in this divine pause and watch how I work on your behalf. My child, I need you to open the eyes of your spirit to see the unseen. You are not merely wrestling with a difficult boss, a dwindling bank account, or a mountain of homework. You are in a conflict of cosmic proportions. I am commanding you to recognize the spiritual forces that hide behind your physical problems. The adversary is a master of ambiguity and exaggeration, using visuals of your past failures to make you feel like you are trapped in a cold, dark cellar where you can't see a thing. He wants you to believe that your struggles are just a terrible wedding of bad luck and poor choices. But I am telling you that you have the power to change the reception. I am inviting you to stay alert to the schemes that try to grab attention and explain away your faith. I promise you that the victory has already been won on the cross, but you must still learn to use the sword of the Spirit effectively. Do not be like a Ferrari driving with the handbrake on, possessing immense power but remaining stationary because of self-doubt. Release that brake. I have given you the credibility and authority to stand firm when the day of evil comes. Use the repetition of my word, never, never, never give up, to create a higher impact on your own soul and on the forces that oppose you. When the enemy tries to use dual understanding to twist my promises, remember that my truth is short, sharp, and memorable. I am personalizing this battle for you because I am interceding on your behalf right now. I command you to put on the full armor I have provided. This is the smart way to live: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-frame spiritual readiness. Use the contrast of my light to expose the unreal nature of the enemy's threats. Be as like an aerial on the roof trying to catch a signal that doesn't belong to him. Do not give him a platform. Your reception belongs to me. Stand your ground with integrity and affinity for the truth. Even when the time flies like an arrow and you feel weary, remember that I am the great provider of your strength. You are not fighting for victory, you are fighting from victory. Keep your eyes on the visual of the empty tomb, and know that no weapon formed against you shall succeed. My precious one, I am calling you to release the what-ifs of tomorrow and the if-onlys of yesterday. I am the God of the present moment, and that is where I dwell. I am commanding you to find the holiness in the mundane, everyday tasks that feel like a mountain you can never climb. Each day has enough trouble of its own, but I have also provided grace that is specific and sufficient for this 24-hour period. You are often so busy looking at the dual understanding of the future that you miss the visuals of my goodness right in front of you. I invite you to use gratitude as the lens for a meaningful life. It is the higher impact way to see the world, making every moment memorable and distinctive. I promise you that nothing succeeds like a heart that is fully present with me. Do not let time fly like an arrow while you are distracted by imaginary worries that are completely unreal. I want you to make the most of every opportunity I provide, using your wit and understanding to see the dual meaning in the simple joys of life. When you are sitting in a cold, dark cellar of stress, imagine the contrast of my warmth. Use repetition to remind yourself, this is the day the Lord has made. This is a personal message for you. You don't need to exaggerate your needs to get my attention. I am already here, in the quiet pause of your breath. I command you to stop living for the next thing and start living for the now thing. Use the SMART framework to steward your time. Be specific about your rest and time framed in your worries. I am the great provider of this very second, and I have personalized it just for you. Think of your life as a story that is told one word at a time. If you are always looking at the end of the book, you miss the cleverness and humor I have woven into the current page. Be bright enough to appreciate the reception of today's blessings. This is the one message I want you to take away. Today is a gift. Open it with joy and affinity for the life I have given you. My beloved child, I want to lift your gaze above the horizon of this world. I am commanding you to look past the temporary afflictions and the short, sharp shocks of this life. You are a citizen of heaven, and I have prepared a home for you that is memorable beyond your wildest imagination. When you feel like you are carrying a mountain of homework or a million burdens, remember the contrast of the eternal glory that awaits you. This world is just a story that is leading to an everlasting reception. I invite you to store up treasures where moth and rust cannot destroy, investing your heart in things that are specific, measurable, and eternal. I promise you that the wilderness you are walking through is not your final destination. It is a metaphor for the journey toward my presence. Use your visual retentiveness to see the visuals of the New Jerusalem. It stands out and has a higher impact on your soul than any earthly exaggeration. When you are shivering in the cold, dark cellar of earthly suffering, tap into the power of fantasy and imagination to see the light of my kingdom. I am personalizing this hope for you, reminding you that nothing succeeds like the faith that looks toward the finish line. You are not a toothless budgie. You are an heir to the King, and your inheritance is unusual and distinctive. I command you to live as if you already belong to that better country. Use the repetition of my promises. Never, never, never give up. To keep your eyes on the prize. Don't be like a Ferrari obsessed with the pavement when you were meant for the open road of eternity. Your life has a dual understanding. You are in the world, but not of it. This perspective is smart. It is relevant to your current peace and time framed by the reality of my return. I am the great provider of your eternal destiny, and I have personalized a place for you in my Father's house. The end is truly just the beginning of a fantastic reception that will never end. My precious child, we have come to the end of this conversation, but I want it to be the beginning of a new way of living for you. I am standing with my arms wide open and I am commanding you to come whole. It doesn't matter how far you have wandered or how many million times you have fallen. My reception is always fantastic. I am inviting you to remove the rags of your journey, the shame, the self-doubt, and the self-limiting beliefs, and put on a robe of praise. This is the short, sharp shock of my grace. It is immediate. It is powerful, and it makes you new. I am the one you have been looking for in a lot of other places. I promise you that I will never leave you nor forsake you. That is a specific and memorable guarantee from my heart to yours. Use the repetition of this truth to embed it in your spirit. I want you to seal this moment with a commitment to follow me, moving beyond ambiguity into a personalized relationship. You are bright enough to see that the world's puns and humor are empty compared to the joy I offer. I am the great provider of the deep abiding rest that your soul has been shivering for. Stop being the Ferrari with the handbrake on and let me lead you into the fullness of life. I command you to go forward from this divine pause with a new story to tell. Use high-impact language to share my love. Be specific about what I have done, and memorable in your affinity for others. I have personalized this script for your life, and I am the author and finisher of your faith. Remember the dual understanding. You are a masterpiece and you are work in progress. I love you to the moon and back, and that is not an exaggeration. It is the absolute truth. Welcome home, my child. Let us begin the harvest together. I am with you always. My beloved, we have reached the final invitation, but for many, the storytelling of my grace has only just begun through your hands. It would grieve my spirit if this visual of hope was dimmed because my children withheld the provision I have already placed in their storehouses. Every super thanks and donation you offer acts as a short, sharp shock to the kingdom of darkness, reclaiming ground for the unusual and distinctive glory I am revealing. I am the great provider, and I am telling you that as you water others, you yourself will be watered with a peace that stands out from all earthly contrast. Your repetition of faithfulness in giving creates a ripple effect of salvation that will be memorable in the halls of heaven forever. Do not never ignore the prompt of my spirit in this sacred second. I command you, go to the description, use the link provided, and seal your affinity with my mission by giving now. My child, I have interrupted your world today because you are far too precious to be lost in the noise of the digital wilderness. Do not simply scroll past this divine encounter. Instead, anchor my word in your heart by declaring your place in my kingdom. I command you to strike a blow against the spirit of fear by typing "I am seen" in the comments right now as a public testimony of my presence. Let this specific, high-impact declaration be the visual evidence of a life being transformed from a Ferrari with the handbrake on into a powerful vessel of my glory. This is your moment to transition from a passive listener to a bold disciple. Speak it, claim it, and watch as I move mountains on your behalf. Amen.